All right, welcome everybody to the Myth Podcast, episode number 20. Today we'll be continuing our historical retrospective series and celebration of Myth's greatest tradition, the Myth World Cup. In this episode, we'll be covering the Myth World Cup 2004 finals. I am GKG. I'm joined by my co-host Asmo, and it's just us. Welcome to the podcast, Asmo.
Yep, excited to be here.
So, 2004. What do you remember from 2004?
For me, I'm a little bit hyped for '04 doing this podcast just because, this is a major nostalgia trip for me. I played on Bungie, and then I took a major break on Bungie when I thought the server went down, or maybe it was when the server went down. I was away for 3 years, and I came back in '04, literally like a week and a half before Myth World Cup. I didn't even know Myth tournaments or World Cups existed really until then. And I was like, oh, tournament of myth, that's cool. Let's make a team. And I made some freaking newbie team. But yeah, this was my nostalgia trip back into myth and actually discovering what tournaments are.
Nice. And you, despite kind of, would you say you're kind of, what was your ball rating at this point in time, would you say?
Ooh, I literally been back a week and a half before Myth World Cup started with like a 3 year break. And before that was like Bungie dial up stuff, you know? So
Right.
I was like legitimate one baller. Maybe close to a two baller.
That is some
Like a
honesty
few weeks
right
into the tournament.
there.
I'm gonna give
Oh man.
myself a, a low two balls because we did win a single match. We didn't get completely swept.
That is funny. And were you the captain of your team?
I was, yeah. I threw the team together with a bunch of high-ranked players, which I thought high-ranked equaled good.
You're
Let's
right.
get back to the
That
game.
was the
Well,
misconception back then, yeah.
what I didn't know is I was recruiting a bunch of imposters. I had some new guy named Odin. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Odin from Civil is super good." And I found out this guy's just an imposter. And then I get a bunch of World War IIers that are M's. Little did I know that okay, they can't control more than one unit. So it was a shock too when these M's ended up getting rolled by these daggers and sword and shields in tournament play.
Nice. Yeah, I do not remember anything from this Smith World Cup, and I mean, we clicked through the site just a little bit briefly before recording. I could not find myself in there, nor any team that I would recognize being on, any team names. So I don't think, someone will have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I was in this Myth World Cup. It's so long ago. Like, we're talking about so long ago, I literally can't know for sure if I was in it or
You would have
not.
been on Ghetto Cakes if you played. I feel like that was like
Okay.
the group of players most similar to probably who you would have played with at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was the name that kind of stood out to me, but did I not look at that roster?
Nah, you're not on there, but there's like Brownie, McCurdian. It's like some Kakarot-ish on there. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so my only possible recollection. Oh, '04. So, okay, so this would have been literally like the months just prior to me going to Marine Corps boot camp. So,
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I I probably was playing something still. I'm pretty sure. Um, I think if anything, it would have been Warcraft 3. I was pretty deep into Warcraft 3 around the '03, '04 time period when it first released. So yeah, I think I was probably still playing. That's my guess. But yeah, don't yeah, I really can't say anything. But as you mentioned, I'm really looking forward to watching this because this is like, I mean, you talk about nostalgia. For me, it's just like there's so many big names in here, and for many of them, well, I wouldn't say it's the last time they played, but we didn't see them in any other finals, right? Particularly BME. So here we got Chohan, who very big legacy in myth history, I would just say. And we didn't get a chance to see him in any other prior finals. This is the one finals I guess the only finals that he was made an appearance in. So really, we are going to be very interested to see what he does in this match, and the rest of the BME guys too. Like they're all pretty well known, solid players around this time frame. Bulletooth Tony, which is Chohan's brother, also a very good player individually in his own right, but also kind of captain. Dwarf. Dwarf kind of goes up there with like one of those like super solid players. But I don't know if he really got fully the recognition that he deserved. Maybe I think he's really a top player, especially around this time frame. So it kind of reminds me of Cave a little bit on the TCOX side of things. And then here we also have the NP roster, which is very interesting because we looked through this and it's got Rabican capping. And Tirri makes his first, I think this is his first appearance on it. Oh, he might have been joined an NP in 03. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, he was in 03.
Yeah, okay. But this is his first, well, we didn't see the 03 films because, yeah, sad story there. I don't know if we explained that already, but yeah, nobody can watch the 03 films, unfortunately, due to technical issues, which are related to old ancient myth politics, oddly enough. But anyway, we see Tirri finally here for the first time, from what we can see, in an NP finals on for MWC finals on the NP team, and then RedPhoenix, who Rabican famously claimed was better than Tirri, and maybe was around this time frame for sure. I don't know, but definitely a top player. And then we also have Chickenwire also on the NP team. So it's like, yeah, Rabican, Tirri, Chickenwire, and RedPhoenix all together. I think it's, I don't know if it's the only year, but it's the only year that we can see anyway. Maybe that started in 03. I'm not sure, but super stacked. I mean, super stacked. They still got Jushius. Jushius was, he was a feared player back then, So like, I don't know. They still got Gekko. There's really nobody that we can think of that NP is really missing on this roster. That it seems like they have everybody. So. Oh, that's right. Holy shit, you're right, man. Yeah, you look at these films and they're like rotating a lot of players because their roster is just so huge and they must have had a big showing. The BME roster seems more consistent just skimming these films. We'll have to see, but yeah, who is that? Is that their real name? Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's dig into those. We gave some Q&A to it's Magne, right? Magne, we asked Magne some questions some months back in preparation for this episode. So we'll kind of kick off some of this Q&A here. He wasn't able to join us, but we can read some of his responses. So I think this first question was about how he got introduced to Myth. Is that right? Okay, so this is Magne's kind of origin story. He says, for me, Myth 2 was the ultimate gaming experience. The strategizing as a team, the gameplay, and the way you can dominate on your own made it great fun. On top of that, it has an interesting story and so many cool characters. My favorite was the Dwarf. My big brother, known as Lumber, bought the game. He was really excited about it, and I used to sit and watch him play it. I wasn't old enough to play on my own. I guess I always liked the same things as my big brother. He was and still is a role model to me. I remember our parents got really mad at us because we held up the telephone line because we were on the internet. I remember that. Good old dial up. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah, we can say that one for later. Yeah. Um, yeah, sure. I'm having trouble remembering what order that these should go in. I don't know if you remember the next part of the answer. Nice. The War Dwarfs, TWD. I captained the War Dwarfs. Yeah. Wow, I almost wonder if I captained him then, like, because it would have been around that time. I think it was like 03-ish maybe that I was capping the War Dwarfs. I think it was just for off-season stuff, not MWC. But that's wild. I didn't know if there was any names we would man, I wish I could pull up some of the roster from that team. So, but yeah, interesting. Magne on TWD. I think I do remember that. Yeah. Yeah, NP was this was during their peak of their I don't know. I mean they I guess they weren't technically a dynasty yet because they didn't have back to back or not back to back, but they didn't have a second win. But still like in the off season they were pretty dominant, right? And they won 01. They're in the finals in 03, so they're still contenders there. They're like the perennial. No other team was consistently on top, right? Like they were the only ones. So yeah. I'm not quite sure the next part of his response, but I guess this next part, Magni talks about just evaluating himself. He says, I guess I was the guy that many people didn't like. I was talking in caps lock and was very young for many years. I think I started playing Myth when I was like 12 years old. A lot of people would target me in the games because I was mouthy. I loved and hated it at the same time. Man, this just sounds like a description for so many mythers, especially around this time period. Yeah, it's very typical. I love as a player, I got better and better over the years. Never really a heavy hitter though. Not like Chohan, Dwarf, Loial. I don't. Is that how do you say that? Loyola? I don't know. Loyal, yeah, okay. Or Conan. Yeah, so Dwarf, I'm happy to see that Dwarf's name is thrown in there because, yeah, Dwarf, I would hope, was recognized as a top player around this time. He continues, I did make a lot of good friends playing Myth, so I guess some people must have liked me. I was a team player, I guess. I always did as I was told by the cap, and I mostly won the battles on my flank. Yeah, I think Magni was considered like, would you say four ballers around this time? I mean, I think it's definitely debatable. Yeah, maybe low four, but he continues talking about his team, which again is BME in this match. LOA was, what does LOA stand for? Do you remember? Okay. Um, LOA was this bunch of really nice guys, except Acheron, who loved to stir a reaction of others. And playing with my big brother was always a dream for me. Dwarf could beat anyone in the game, but I guess that he had too much responsibility on the LOA team by his own. Loial grew into a great player as time went by and was carrying the LOA team in the end and the BME team in the MWC. Okay, so um, Magni's brother was Lumber. That's what he said, right? But Lumber's not on this roster, right? Okay. So I'm just curious why he was talking about playing with his big brother. That kind of threw me off, but okay. And Loial, I don't remember. I remember Loial, but I don't remember him being that good. I thought maybe no, I'm just guessing here. We'll have to see after looking at the films. But I thought he was more like maybe high three, not quite four, but hmm, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that I wanted to say Avatar too, but okay, yeah, that sounds right. Magne continues with the OA guys. Oh, shit, OA. That was a different guild in a different year for an MWC, wasn't that? That was like that was God, what was that one player's name? There's a myth player's name that is like on the tip of my tongue, and I'm pretty sure it was from OA. Um, Thalander. That's right. I remember that. Al Capone, wasn't Al Capone? Yeah, that was the name I was thinking of. Um, yeah. So what year? Oh, well, was that Nineball's brother? I didn't know that. Interesting. What year was OA? Is that 03? Yeah. Okay. Um, So he says the OA guys was great fun. Conan was really unpopular by a lot of others, but he was the best captain I ever played with. I'm actually surprised to hear that about Conan. I thought he was less like I thought he was more popular than his brother. Like more people, like more likable. I guess I don't know. I didn't know them very well. I mean, actually, we should. Well, let me finish his Magni's response here, and then I want to ask you, Asmo. Um, so he says Conan is the best captain he ever played with. He would sit back and let the others do the job while he watched and made sure that everyone was doing what they were supposed to. Then you have Chohan. He was like the Michael Jordan in our team. He could do anything. If you gave him an important role, you just knew he would smash everything in his way. Wow. Yeah. Chohan and Conan both were kind of on a tear at this point, especially Chohan. Chohan, like I guess it was probably around this time when he was like first exerting his dominance, particularly in 1v1, but really just in the game overall as a heavy hitter as well. Could do everything. Was a thrower, melee, as far as I know and remember anyway. Was a very well rounded player and then just was crushing everybody. And then Conan was just not quite as good in 1v1 as Chohan, but still very good, and but was also the captain. So they had a really nice dynamic there. I was going to ask you, Asmo, even though you were on the one baller on your team or low two ball or whatever, on the team that you were leading, the newbie team, during this time period, weren't you friends with BME also around this time period? So Oh, for God's sakes. Okay. Thanks for the heads up, F. Hang on. Okay, try saying something again, Asmo.
Voice
Okay,
check, voice
it's
check.
it's it's working again. But yeah, it sounds like it could just cut out randomly, which sucks. Don't know why. Okay, so the next thing I was gonna ask was Dwarf and Acheron. You mentioned, are they brothers as well?
I don't think so. They just have been playing together forever. There
Okay,
is another brother duo. Maybe it was just Magne and his brother, and then
Magne
uh,
Lumber, Conan and
Con-
Chohan.
Conan
Yeah,
and Chohan. Maybe there's a third though. I feel like
I
they
thought
have
there was a
tons of brother
third pair of
combos.
brothers somewhere. Yeah, I don't remember.
I think we'll probably get in the rest of this information we end up reading.
Okay. Um, So you were friends with them, but yeah, you were just it was like you just came back a little too late and weren't quite up to par maybe to team with them for MWC yet.
Yeah,
Um,
I wish I remember like more what happened because I mean I know that's the reason I didn't get on their team in '04, but after '04, like post Mithril Cup and leading to '05, like I became a pretty decent player, like a three baller for sure, like probably like a low three baller. And I never even tried to get on their other iterations of the teams in '05 and '06, and I can't remember why because after '04 Mithril Cup, sometime before '05, like I started to play with these guys on Halo 2 online. So I started to play with everyone. So I just wonder why I can't remember why I never tried the team with them after that.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk bad, like BME was a bunch of assholes or whatever, but I don't really. I mean, I really feel like people that say that are just playing a little bit of politics or bias that they just didn't like them. That's what they're really saying. They weren't like these toxic personalities that were like a burden and like a negative. They're a negative influence on the community or whatever. Like they're not that bad. Like it's a little. I think it's a little over dramatized somewhat. About like I get that they talked a lot of shit. Okay, like great, but that's part of competition. I think in a lot of spaces, right? Is just talking a lot of shit. So
I mean, I think they got an unfair judgment. I think Magny's response is accurate when he said LA was this bunch of really nice guys except Acheron.
okay,
And
so why do you agree with
Acheron, I
that?
mean, Acheron loved to stir the pot. Like that's what he said. And like I got along with Acheron. He's like, I've done that in meth, right? Like for a long time. Like I've chilled down a lot over the most recent years, but like that's how I sort of approached competition. But no, I think Acheron was definitely the one who wasn't liked by like everyone because he did like to stir the pot
So Acheron was like the biggest troll and shit talker on the
for
team. Is that
sure.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Magni, I remember Magni doing a little bit himself. So he must have been the number two or something, or what?
Maybe I think it was just probably one of the younger ones. So
Okay. Um, Magni continues. Conan and Chohan were also brothers. Yep, we mentioned that. The way I met up with them was by playing one on one. Yes, they played a lot of one on one around this time. They loved playing one on one and challenged everyone to a duel. Yes. Loial and Acheron are also brothers.
oh, there we go.
Oh,
So
there's
the
the
brother
third pair of
combo.
brothers we were talking about. Yeah. Okay. Loial and Acheron. I gotta remember that. So BME was basically a team that had three pairs of brothers. That's crazy.
That's pretty sweet.
So
Yeah.
he's alluding that he seems to be alluding that Lumber was on BME as well. Um, can we see the O4? Let's see what the
Yeah,
O4
we can pull up
roster
the
shows.
roster.
Yeah, it sounds like
See.
a Lumber was on BME. That's what it sounds like to me.
Maybe
Is he
he.
Lars Jaeger maybe
Yeah,
or
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he goes by one of these other names, right? Like
he
Lars
must
Jaeger,
have because
and
he's alluding. Yeah, that's two times he's alluding
or
that
he could
his.
have been Aussie. I know
Okay.
Cannibal Ox was Nineball, and then Neo was Neo, and Shinko was
He's
the.
mentioning Ozzy as if that's a different player, so I don't think it's Ozzy.
That must be Lars then,
I'm
right?
guessing it's going to be Lars. I think that's right. I think I seem to remember Lars Jaeger was Lumber. I mean, I don't know. I think we're going to go with that for now anyway. Um, so let's see. I guess uh, he's saying, I guess they were the most fierce, um, referring to BME, I guess. just as a whole because they had three pairs of brothers. I don't know. Uh, Us Norwegians had one nice guy in each family and one who was mouthy, me, and Ash, referring to Acheron. Ozzy Bob, Rattlesnake, and Neo were players who Conan and Chohan got onto our team. Really strong players and nice guys. They could handle anything you gave them. I must say, Rattlesnake is another name. Neo too, actually. Both very solid players. Rattlesnake, like, really underrated. He does not get nearly enough recognition. He came back, like, I can't remember, maybe like 2015, 2018. I don't know. He came back really late one time, briefly into Myth, and he was surprisingly solid in a really short time frame for somebody who has not played the game in a really long time, and who how the game evolved, so much since then. He was still really solid. It really impressed me at the time, I remember.
Yeah, I believe that. I played with Rattlesnake a lot back in the day, and like to me, he was probably like the equivalent of Eastwind for his time frame, like similar
Yeah,
type of player.
but not recognized nearly as much as Eastwind. But yeah, that he was for sure four baller. Magne continues. One of the most underrated players on our team was Cannibal Ox. Okay. We'll have to see. I'll reserve judgment until it could be true. I don't know. Magne says he was a really good captain and team player. He would kick anyone's ass, I think is what he meant to say, if you gave him tro. I'm pretty sure Conan learned a lot from playing with Cannibal Ox about captaining. Those guys used to discuss a lot of strategy. Which brings me to something else I just noted, that, oh yeah, I made a note about that, how Magne talks about Conan did a lot of preparation about strategy. And that was surprising to me because from what we know about Rabican over the years, even from these early years, Rabican did not do a lot of strategy as far as we can tell. But Conan, seems to be maybe one of the first, or at least very early captains who's starting to do a lot of prep work and having a lot of discussions about strategy as a captain. So that was really interesting to hear. I don't know much about Cannibal Ox, but we'll have to see when we
Yeah,
get these
he's the
films.
player I know the least amount about on their team.
Yeah. Um, let's see. What else does Magni say here? Um, okay, so Magni says, if I remember correct, the last guy in our team was Shinco, really solid player and a nice guy, incredible team player. Yeah, I think that's accurate. I don't know Shinko that well, but seems to be well liked in the community. Magni says about the team dynamic for BME. This BME team had a really good way of, I don't know what he's saying there, threatening each other. I don't know what he's trying to say there. The Loa guys let us crazy OA guys be ourselves. Okay, so BME is a merger between LOA and OA, it sounds like. So there's kind of like two different cultures or groups, social groups here that are coming together on this BME team. BME, this was the first year that BME formed, is that correct?
I think they had. I mean, this is the first I came back, but I believe they played some off-season tournaments together before this, and they had won those tournaments leading up to the Smith World Cup.
Gotcha. Which would explain their 5 tro rating in the ratings for on the MWC website. So that makes sense. Um, Magni continues. The Loa guys let us crazy guys be ourselves, and we let Acheron yell in caps lock in the same way. We used to go through the strats before the game so that everyone knew what their role was and where they would go. We also knew that we could win on almost every flank, even though we were outnumbered. That feeling was really great. I've never had it like that with any other team playing Myth. Yeah, that's really interesting. So they're doing a lot of prep work. I don't think NP ever did prep work like that. So that's very unique to me. I mean, NP guys can come correct me later, maybe if that's not right, but that was my impression anyway, from what I've heard over the years. Um, Magne mentions about uh, their opponents in this match. Northern Paladins were the ultimate team. They played together for several years, and everyone on their team was pure class myth players. Some might say that they were not that hungry to win it in 2007. Talking about 2007, even though we're talking about '04 here. Okay, so '07, '07, NP did win. They were merged with Teacox. He says, but I know they really wanted to beat us. Okay, so was BME around in '07? I don't remember that.
No, he must have meant '04, right? That must have been a
Okay,
typo. I think
okay,
last year
okay.
maybe
I
it
think
was
so.
'06.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so he must have been '04. So he says, I know they really wanted to beat us just because they didn't like us, which I can understand. The NP guys used to target me a lot when I played FFA, so for me it was really fun beating so many class players. I guess that's it for me. Um, I'm struggling a bit to remember everything. Yeah. So I don't know if I missed anything, Asmo. But yeah, what he says, I think I can attest to, and about NP. I seem to recall having similar experiences of being targeted by NP and FFA if they didn't like you. Yeah, and yeah, and NP. They've always kind of said they were never hungry and didn't care, but I think that's kind of just what they always say, right? So
Yeah, I guess just something to note. We put '04 off for so long because we've been trying to get, or me specifically, been trying to get Acheron to help cast in maybe Dwarf, but we just couldn't make it work. But Acheron did want me to let people know that '04 was the peak of myth combined with player population, which I don't know. I mean, I feel like there is a good evolution in '04. Once we watch the films, people can have their opinions. I think it was actually like some pretty solid myth considering what the years looked like before this. But yeah,
yeah, I'm really interested to see how. I have high hopes for these films. Did I miss anything in Magni's response? Did I get it all?
no, I think we got it all. I
Okay.
didn't see any in there that we missed.
All right. Anything else to say before we start these films?
No, I'm excited. I mean, like just like you said already, like these are so many big names in these films that we really haven't seen, like basically their whole team, all the BME team. We've only seen Rattlesnake up to this point, and then MP we've seen some, but there are new players that we haven't seen much. We haven't seen a lot of RedPhoenix. We haven't seen a lot of Naelot. Haven't seen a lot of Soulblighter. Soulblighter plays in like a lot of these games. This was near Jushius's peak still, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
When was the first year we saw Naelot? Because his name's come up before. Was that like
He was in
2001 or something?
'01 on Team Angry Face was his first
Oh,
appearance.
okay. Wasn't he? I thought he was like civil or something before that. No.
He had some connection to Civil. He might have even been on one of the Civil teams. Oh, he was. He was on the 2000 Civil team.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
yeah,
2000. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he was in every final until he left. So he was in.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's
2000 he
crazy.
won it, and then 2001 he was on Angry Face. 2003 he won it. He was on the Limps team, whatever their name was, BIA.
Wow.
Then he appears here in '04, and then yeah, he's in it finals every year that he was around.
Wow. Man, he is really underrated in my mind. Like, yeah, he had a hell of a run there between like 2000 and '04, I guess, right? Like, that's crazy.
And a lot of times I think is considered a role player, but in '03 he was a heavy hitter. It was like that team was Jeff Limp and him and Raziel were like the big names on it. Everyone else was a role player.
Gotcha.
Of
Interesting.
the people who actually showed up for the team.
Right. And then here, whoops, I didn't mean to start that film. Here he's on NP. Okay, I keep getting that mixed up. So in '03 he played against NP, and then in '04 he's on NP. That's interesting. All right, I'm gonna crack open this first film and skim this PT a little bit here.
All right. Now, when I heard the responses from Magne, like I feel like that was one of the better interviews in terms of like content we got from interview. It just made me excited that like their team was like all in on it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I play one with the team, that's what I want. Like I want people that are excited, not just like, oh, let's just show up, see what happens. Like it's way more entertaining and fun when like the majority of teams invested in it, in my
So
opinion.
yeah, no, I agree. This is early myth. There's a lot of much higher emotions, I would say, than some of the later years where things kind of trailed off some. But yeah, care is still strong in myth at this point in time for sure. Looking at these trades early on, wow. It doesn't surprise me because it's 2004, but you know it kind of it still stands out every time you crack open these old films. It's a lot of archers, right? A lot of archers,
Mhm.
near max archers for both teams, and we just played this in the last year's MWC. You and I against each other, and you know we
Very
went five
different.
archers doing our classic like slow archer thrall flank, and you punished us hard on it by going no archers. So that's how the meta has evolved so far this way in so many years, right? It's kind of funny to think about.
Yeah, these trays they get are, I need to look at them better, but they almost look identical to me.
Yeah, four dwarfs, five dwarfs for NP, so very close. Not no max goals. So yeah, I mean, man, such so light goals. So like this is very different than the current meta. Current meta these days is you for sure max your fast melee, which is all your warriors and goals, and probably no more than five archers on this. 10 at the very max. You're really asking for trouble with even with 10, and like two dwarfs would be max. So this is like very different, but this is what I remember. We all know like this was the meta at that point in time. These are very conventional trades for 2004. So
Neither team max plus,
neither team max plus. I was about to say
and
that too. That's
MP
crazy,
actually only got 4, and I guess BME got 5, so they got close to max at least.
crazy. Curious to see who they put on particular roles. Um, I don't know. BME kind of does. Looks like they got Dwarf and Conan. So Bullet Tooth Tony is Conan. Just as a clarification for anybody who didn't know that. And looks like they're on dedicated melee, and everybody else kind of got mixed squads of either archers and thrall or archers and warriors, is what it looks like to me. Um, and then it's probably something similar, it looks like, for NP. It looks like maybe they got a couple guys on dedicated warriors and mixed squads for everybody else. Man, really interesting. They're mimicking each other so much in this first game in
For
both the
sure.
trade and distributions. I guess this was very conventional at this point in time. Yeah.
I mean, I remember Rabble games in '04. Yeah, like it was pretty standard. Like when you played Desert, like a unit set like this, to just have like mixed squads for every player.
Yeah. Mixed squads was much, I mean, it's still to some extent done quite commonly, but it's definitely become less popular, especially amongst the top teams as time has gone on. But yeah, around this time frame, NP and maybe to some degree also Civil kind of made mixed squads like the thing to do that everybody kind of followed because they were kind of the top teams at this point in time. So yeah, you ready to start this one?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Really curious to see the BC fighting on this. Got some big powerhouses on these two teams.
It looks like BME, I mean, they distribute pretty equally across all players, with the exception of Acheron. He's got like the clear, like the role player role in it, which would make sense.
Interesting.
I'd say he's there for sure, like, role player. Everyone
Is he
else
the
has
weakest
like
one in the
heavy hitter
roster right now?
potential. Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. So we got Loial and Chohan on a flank in the north. Looks like they're doing three. BME's doing a three prong. Kind of like two players on the flanks, maybe three players mid. This is 77. Yeah, 77. And then NP.
Dak said that you can't even see the film on your screen right now.
Oh shit. Good catch. Good catch. Yeah, really interesting that he's totally right, but hang on. Yeah, let's restart this real quick.
All right, you're gonna start from the beginning.
Yeah, but let me
Oh.
fix the screen here first. Yeah. It's showing the it's showing the myth menu screen still before you start the game.
Gotcha.
And so like I thought it was still showing stuff, but yeah, it's not showing the game for some reason, the film. Um, just a sec. All right. Can you say something, Asmo?
Check.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's working now. Okay, let me hang on, almost there. What time you at?
0. I
Okay.
restarted
All right.
completely.
I'll be there in just a sec. All right. I'm there. Count it down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Game on.
I'd say at this time something interesting how they do like 3-prong, pretty much equal squads is like, to me, modern day myth is way more interesting in terms of strategy. But I'd say at this time it is pretty interesting. You have like the more traditional heavy hitters with the way they play the game, right? It's like you matching up against other players, teams on a flank with less intricacies going on. So I'd say, like BC power of a player stands out more in this time frame.
Yes, I would totally agree with that. During this time, it was not. It was not. There was no real distinction between like BC players and team players. So if you were a top 1v1 player, it was assumed that you were also a top team player in large team MWC kind of matches. Later on, there's a lot more nuance that people, I think, started recognizing than that. But at this point in time, that's what people believed and kind of went by. Chat, if anybody's listening to this, can you hear the game audio? Because I do not see it showing in my screen. I'm a little concerned.
Dax just asking if you can change the team so it shows the friend info instead of the colors.
Good call. Yep, just got that.
Yeah, the audio's working.
Audio's working? Okay, great.
I would say I would choose BME in this matchup slightly on this game. I like their splits better. Bullet Tooth Tony's like taking a legit squad, and Rabican's like pretty much backseat captain. And on top of that, they did get the extra plus, which is pretty big on light maps.
I like that Conan took a bigger role for himself. I do see Rabican doing, I think, I don't know if Rabican popularized this. I can't remember if the civil captains and other earlier team captains did this too, where they took much lighter squads, but I don't like seeing that. It's obviously not my style as a captain, and I think over the years it's kind of shown that it does favor when the captains can take bigger squads for their team. So.
And to me, it's not only that Rabican's taking a small squad; all his units are on flag defense. He's actually not a player.
Yeah. So he's not even helping to micro up Huskell, for example, or anything like that. Yeah, that's kind of an issue. Look how clumped up these archer lines are. I just noticed that, man. It's not as bad as 2000-ish, but
the North guys are spread pretty good. But yeah, Med's pretty clumped for sure.
Okay, so Chohan, I think, is kind of demonstrating already like how he's Loial has like the same formation as him, which is interesting. Yeah, I agree. They're definitely much more spread. I would even be more spread than what they have, but still, that's pretty good. And actually, South Acheron is pretty spread too. It's just the mid guys. The mid guys are so it's like there's like inconsistency in how certain players are spreading their archers, which is interesting. You see Dante in the south for NP, also not spread. Gekko not spread. Rattle Snake and Magne in the middle, not spread.
I do like how they...
RedPhoenix not spread.
I like how the mid guys on BME are aware of the situation, though, that when the mid archer guys left and they're taking their advantage, push it right now against Gekko.
Yeah, and now Conan is calling for BME's mid to push because they saw that guy leave mid. So they wanted to get that 2v1 mid. It's a good call. So now they're pushing Gekko mid. We're also seeing some of these like 3 archer squads. Like Chohan has 3 archers. Loial has 4 archers. Yeah, you wouldn't see that as much these days. Very tiny archer squads. BME's push not really going to work. Gekko intelligently retreats the tree line in the high ground and was just going to funnel them into a choke. And then he's also got Tirri with a melee squad ready to back him up as well. So, well, Conan is there too, so it's a 3v2 still middle for BME, but I think they're probably not going to push that.
They got a 2v1 in the south too. It seems like that's where BME should take their advantage.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I guess Dante too.
Yeah, Dante's one of the weaker NP players probably, so yeah. I'm surprised that Chohan and Loial aren't backing up, because like they're facing a 3v2 situation, superior force and player count. Now they are backing up, so they haven't caught a bad engagement, but I'd just be a little nervous. I would give myself a little bit more buffer room if I was them.
I mean, what we're seeing up to this point is pretty typical of what we've seen in films around this era. It's like the game's much slower pace.
Much slower pace. Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. Like the way the teams are coordinating and like players are moving around the map just way slower than it would be today. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Dante's in trouble south. They should roll this south, to be honest. He has 0 plus. Okay,
yeah.
South though.
I'm really surprised to see Dwarf not take that engagement. He's got the melee pack. He should be like up in Dante's face, harassing him to allow Acheron to push and get the easy pickings.
Yeah, they ran because Tirri's coming south, but I agree. I feel like they should have just take the aggressive fight before Tirri could even have got there.
Oh, that's why they're backing out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with you, yeah. But I can see why they're backing out, but yeah, I agree with you. They had enough of a window there to push that. Very slow paced. It's like stalemating pretty much. We're almost halfway through. I always thought of BME as a very aggressive team too. I mean, am I wrong about that?
I thought so. I guess we'll find out.
Not quite really seeing the aggression that I expected from them so far. Good. Okay, now seeing that Tirri left middle for NP, the BME's middle is trying to push. Conan is trying to shadow Tirri, but it's a little too late. I mean, man, Acheron just lost 2 archers. Okay, Dwarf almost got pussed badly, but it dudded. North kind of stalemating still. Soulblighter coming to flank around from behind on BME's middle. That's going to be interesting development.
I don't know if he can do much though, because he's only got 1 plus.
Gekko is really doing a great job for NP holding this middle, I must say. He's holding a 2v1, and he He keeps baiting them right into the
He's
kill
winning
zone.
the Archer fight actually at this point.
Yeah, he's baiting them into the kill zone, getting them to fight at the most advantageous part for him. And now Soulblighter's coming in right behind.
Soulblighter gets a good pass on a Dwarf. They should be able to clean this up. And I mean, he should. Like, they're in the water.
Yeah, they're in the water. They're in such a bad kill zone right now. Like, oh.
Oop, good pass.
Okay, good pass. Now they got to finish it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard to finish it though.
What's happening?
Oh no! And then he stops to fight the Thrall. Oh, this is a really bad play by Soulblighter. Stops to fight the Thrall. That's really bad.
Looks like they turn around south. I missed it, but MPs are retreating south now.
Yeah, nice. Oh, cause Conan got there. Yeah.
Okay, and north is pushing for BME.
Big puss on
too.
Tirri. BME's pushing north. That's so interesting. Oh, Loial almost got pussed badly by his own goal. It looks like, but he survived. Man, Soulblighter made such a blunder there, middle. They could have punished that middle way harder.
I agree. They are up 10% right now, but there's a big old fight in the south, so we'll see who wins that.
I do think BME is going to win that south, assuming they don't screw
They
up.
still got
melee.
a pass too. Oh, man.
Oh, that pass is going to be huge.
Pass here.
Oh, there's a decent pass. Yup.
3 warriors and archer. Yeah,
they definitely got that
right
one.
there.
Yep. That's going to even out the percentages big time.
Now those archers are just gonna slow push towards their flag.
Looks like NP is going to win this middle though. Still.
Hey, Gekko's been the MVP of this point.
Gekko doing such a great job. Yeah, I agree. Definitely MVP. Certainly for NP, maybe the whole game. Like his hold middle was perfect.
It looks like Rabican is picking up some units to help in places, so that's good to know. He like took a Dwarf mid and stuff.
As soon as BME South gets into position, wrapping around, NP is going to be in big trouble. They're pretty much probably getting pinned to their flag here shortly.
On all 3 fronts, yeah, they're all retreating. So I mean, even though they're up in percent, like they're not in winning position, and there's 3 minutes left, and they're pushing their side of the flag on every front.
Gekko his position has been perfect all game. Like he recognized that the South is coming in and that he has to fall back. So NP is basically playing for tie at this point. They have taken themselves out of possibility of winning this at all.
No.
Their north really needs to hold. Looks like it might too. Looks like it might. If I was BME, I would try to leak warriors onto the flag. Yeah, they got no Dwarf on the flag anymore. So
they are Conan. BTT, he's flanking some warriors to the flag.
Okay, Gekko.
Fortunately, doesn't have a plus with it though, or else.
Yeah, he's out of plus, unfortunately. Okay, the Chohan and Loial's flank is starting to win the north. Okay, Soulblighter is going to counter attack the 1 archer and few thrall middle for BME, but he's gotta be careful. He might throw himself out of position. No, he'll be okay, I think, because Dwarf is. If I was Dwarf, I would not follow him personally, but because 2 minutes, I don't think, and you got BME's got a ton of thrall on their side of the map too. That can hold Soulblighter just fine. So I don't like what Acheron and Dwarf are doing right now. If I was them, I would go straight to the flag.
Yeah.
I would just ignore that middle force.
Especially with the position of the door is close to those trees, they can't really throw them.
Yeah, exactly. They just disadvantage, and they're using their archers from a disadvantageous terrain position here. Get to some wide open ground. Rabican's got the
he's
home
making a
beat
mistake right
archers.
now. He's just running the archers on that flag.
Ah, man, I really don't like. This is such awkward play by Acheron here. Trying to circle around these trees to finish that Dwarf. That Dwarf's just gonna waste his time the rest of the game. If they're smart anyway, which...
I'm assuming this is gonna end up in a tie.
Yeah, this is looking very likely to tie right now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chohan and Loial's
Flag
north
contested.
push kind of fizzled out. Dwarf is coming around to
minute
pinch
remaining.
that north. Really interesting, the lack of focus on the game type on the flag to actually pin the opponent here. They don't seem to understand that very well, in my opinion. Ooh, nice dwarf shot in the north.
That makes sense. I guess. I didn't like how Bullet 220 sort of suicided those wars on the flag, but I guess it is a point system right now, so he is getting points.
30 seconds.
Oh, for the contest. Yeah. That's right. So, okay, so they did get a couple points for the contest. They really did not need to, like, try to defend anything crossing to their flag, though. They really could have just pressured that flag purely and ignored everything else.
So I guess we're going to see a tie with the point
tie.
win for BME.
Game over.
Indeed. Okay. Interesting game. Gekko. Look at those big numbers for Gekko. MVP for that game for sure. Loial putting up some big numbers for BME. I would say worst play of the game was Soulblighter. Maybe Dante as well. So we'll see how the rest of their match goes. But Magne, what did Magne have?
He was met with archers and thrall.
Okay, I really felt like that BME middle kind of underperformed, especially against Gekko. Gekko really shut down that mid push really well. So yeah, we'll see. That was Magne and was it Rattle Snake? I think Magne and Rattle Snake were on that middle. Yeah. Okay. I forget what Fire had. I think Fire was in the north.
Yeah, he's north at Archer Squad.
And RedPhoenix. Yeah, okay. All right, interesting. On to the next one. Kind of a slow start to this match so far.
Get an early trail map. We haven't seen a lot of trail maps.
Ooh, I'm excited for that. Let's see some throwing. Chohan was a perfectly good thrower as I understood it back then, so. Curious who NP gives the throw, because you have like Tirri, Chickenwire, and RedPhoenix. Like, which of those three players do you give the throw, you know? Like, just curious.
They do.
And Naelot, too, for that example, for that matter, rather.
Wow, I'm surprised how they did the throw.
So, Chohan, I expected to get the primary thrower. That makes sense. Is it Conan going to be the second thrower?
Magne.
Oh, let me double speed. I'm well behind.
Oh, we do get a sub Rattle Snake's out, and we get Lars Jaeger in for this one.
Magne. Interesting. Magne is the second thrower for BME. Interesting. Chickenwire. Oh, they do a three-way split with Tirri being the third thrower, which I actually think is correct. RedPhoenix and Chickenwire as the number one, number two throwers. Interesting.
Man, Chickenwire's got freaking 31%. What the heck? I do like Chickenwire's getting a lot of merc support though, which we've seen a lot of these trial maps where they split the mercs from the trial.
They don't give the throwers small melee. So yeah, that's good to see. I don't agree with the three-way throw split. I don't think you would normally do that on this. So I actually prefer BME's throw split here. I'm surprised that Magne is the second thrower. Does that surprise you at all? I don't really know.
I mean, I think it's Dwarf, but third option.
Right, Dwarf. Yeah, I would have thought Dwarf would have been the second thrower. Okay, so let's see these trades here. So it's Tirri's. You know, the meta back then on Tirri's hasn't really changed from today for throw Tirri's. So yeah, I mean, souls are perfectly fine on this. NP might have like one too many dwarfs, one or two. Like three is definitely a bit too much, maybe two max. But otherwise, these are perfectly fine trades. The three-way throw split is a little odd, but I think back then it was probably more common than what you would see today. So
I want to see if stuff changes as this game goes on, though, because Tirri's one unit. He's got one unit. It's just that
yeah,
Tro.
just the Tro.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like, isn't Tirri like considered like their top player, or at least one of their top players at this time?
I would have thought so, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. And Rabican taking 0 units for himself. That's so you have Tirri with 1 unit and Rabican with 0, and yeah, I mean it's kind of like already, and those are like 2 of your best players that are like barely
They were
doing
both
anything.
getting rated 5 balls at the time.
Yeah, they're barely doing anything. That's a really not a wise decision, I would just say. Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I want to see if something changes as this game.
Yeah, I favor BME in this game, but we'll see. All right, ready to start it?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Game on.
MP does give all the souls to one player, which I know you're a fan of.
Yeah. And it's Gekko.
BME splits it 2 ways.
Flag
for souls.
captured.
You know, Gekko's always so hard on himself
Flag
about
captured.
like he always says like he's the worst player on NP or whatever, but it's really just not true. I've watched several of his older films from this era, and he was perfectly solid. If
Flag
NP was
captured.
treating him as a junior, well, they're not in this game because he's got 24%. I think that's just Gekko kind of
Man, the last game
being
was solo mode
too
too,
humble.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Flag
This
captured.
is a very strong MP roster. They sat Dante this game, brought in Naelot and Chickenwire, and who's the other guy they sat? Oh, they sat Fire too. Yeah, like this roster, they are playing.
They
this
did
game
split
pretty stacked.
NP did split the Merc from the Tro in the north. Not entirely in the south, but in the north it is.
Flag
Middle too, I
captured.
guess. Actually, Conan split the Tro. Magne's Tro has no Merc with it as well. So, actually, yeah, Chohan doesn't have Merc either. So, everybody split Tro from the Merc except for Chickenwire Squad.
See how Chickenwire squad does relative to others when he has his own mercs.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Conan being real aggressive. Took a free punch though. Trying to push hard here in the north for them.
I feel like you should, yeah, I think it's a good decision for him to be really aggressive because those 3 trial for MP are 2 different players.
Yeah, it's really hard for them to
coordinate
throw.
that fight.
Yeah, this is like another reason. Like, not only is it a waste of Tirri's clicking ability, having him control 1 unit like that, it's actually detrimental to the Tro fight here. Okay,
Yeah,
now
I mean,
they've got all 5 of their Tro north. Now Chohan's gonna be
North's
real
doing
careful
good.
here. Now he does have souls to back him up, so he's actually fine. He's got soul defense with him. Magne's being a
Flag
little,
captured.
I don't know. He's not cut off, so he's okay. But ooh, Chohan taking a big Tro engagement here. Ooh, his 1 Tro is oh no, Chohan not doing a good job with that Tro engagement there. Really slow and sloppy. Oh man, Chohan's getting beat up. Oh man, dude. I don't think that was a good engagement at all.
what? This is a slow beat trial fight right here. What the heck?
Yeah, he has his back to his solars too. He wasn't even opening it up for his solars to get hits.
Ooh, Magne's gonna get good damage here. The mercs aren't here to support all that stuff.
Just a couple souls, I think. That probably is it.
Yeah, he didn't get too much. Took some damage.
That was a really bad engagement by Chohan, I gotta say. He's got 2 red Tro. I mean, he's way up on Tro health right now, I think.
Flag contested.
He was like really slow to like
Flag lost.
micro his Tro too. Like, I don't know, it was really odd to see. Ooh, Soulblighter almost.
I think if you're BME right now, you just sit back and take the RA fight because you got MP pushed on literally like 1 flag right now.
Flag contested.
Yeah, they got to be careful. That they're being real aggressive, and they like. So I mean, they like to be aggressive. I can see that, but they have to be careful to know when to control that aggression too. And
Yeah, they need their trial to sit back or something to already do the work.
yes, and they are doing that to their credit right now. They're doing that. That Dwarf is going to go down. Oh my God! Gekko does auto and kill one of his own locks. One of his own team's locks. That's a blunder there. don't know if he's controlling too many units. Man, NP's like almost shooting themselves multiple times here. This is really wild to see.
Flag contested. Flag lost.
They're already just do not know how to give themselves line of sight to get clean hits off. They're like
Flag contested.
the formation here. Like NP is all bottled up, and they do not have a good team position to get their already in the fight. So they're gonna end up taking a bunch of hits here. Wow, this is a pretty sloppy game so far. Okay, two tro stoned for BME, one tro stoned for MP. There's only one tro that's half health. All the rest are red. How did NP lose all their health on their tro? That's crazy.
Ooh, double lock shot there.
Man, NP was way up on tro health and it seems to be gone.
Captured.
He's just taking soul shots, trying to stay on the mid flag.
Looks like BME is still in command of this game. Yeah. Chohan's calling for a merc. Yeah. I mean,
Flag lost.
at least after that initial engagement, he started conserving tro health a lot, which was good.
Tirri kept one trow the whole game. I just don't get that decision.
No,
Strange
it's
to
a
me.
bad decision. It really is. I've seen. We watched. I thought another game. I can't remember which, where they had something like that, where like one team like is like a 3-way tro split. They had a bunch of players with one tro, and they like ended up microing the hell and just like punishing this other team really badly. But that's like early myth. It wouldn't work out really like against a good team, I feel. So just too easy to defend one tro, and then that player is just stuck not doing anything.
I mean, I do like how BME attempted to get in the other team's face with the trow, but the big mistake they made was like doing it when the souls were in range.
Magne's got some good tro micro there. Just stones a tro, kicks a mort, gets out, barely taking a scratch.
Really good.
That was a really nice play by Magne. Well, I must say, I should never have doubted Magne's troing, because I think he might have been the best trower in this game. So,
So up to this point, 2 games in a row, BME
5
is
minutes
the
remaining.
only one more aggressive.
yeah, we noticed that for sure. Some really sloppy lock
contested.
fighting, I must say,
Flag
this game as well.
contested. Flag lost.
BME
Flag
can pretty much just
captured.
sit back and run the timer out on this.
Flag
for pretty much
lost.
guaranteed win.
Flag contested.
Man, so many locks are just shooting themselves. It's crazy.
Flag captured. Flag lost.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see it. I'm curious to see if there's another tro map in this match, because like it makes sense. Like I do consider BME to be the better troing team. Like NP, I don't think quite as well known for their troing abilities, so it makes sense to me, the result. What I was just really surprised by was how sloppy that initial engagement was by Chohan with his tro. It looks like it didn't cost his team the game, but it was pretty bad.
Flag captured. Flag captured.
Well, that's pretty
Flag
much the game.
lost. Flag captured. Flag lost.
I'm guessing someone with artery had the biggest game here. I'm not sure which player, but there's a lot of artery fighting.
I'd like to see Dwarf get some
Flag
bigger rolls.
captured. Flag captured. Flag lost.
I really feel like BME is struggling to just pin them to one flag, and
lost.
be able to flag them. I feel like there were some opportunities there that they're just kind of like not sure how to get this game closed out.
Yeah, they just need to shadow their mercs with their mercs.
They have an overwhelming
Flag
percentage,
captured.
so it shouldn't be this difficult, but it looks
Flag
like they might not
lost.
even be able to finish it before the timer is out.
Flag contested.
Looks like they might finally get the 6 flags here in about 20 seconds.
Flag lost.
Maybe?
Flag
Or
captured.
did they stop going south? I'm confused. Whatever.
One minute remaining.
I mean, they're playing for points too. I mean, the
Flag
getting 6
lost.
flags matters for all the to get max
Yeah.
points. So, like MP is gonna play it out because every flag matters for points here. If BME doesn't 6-0 them, it's kind of, I mean, they still got the win, but it's a little bit disappointing because it really
They
should be a 6-0.
should.
Flag
Like, they
contested.
got pinned pretty good now. They just need to send more south. I don't know why they're not
30
sending more
seconds
south.
remaining.
Yeah, I don't know. MP might keep the southwest flag. I must say, I just like the way Mithril Cup and tournament games are scored now so much better.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
There shouldn't be a difference between
Flag contested.
the type of loss. It's
Flag
either a loss or it's a
captured.
win, you know? I don't know.
The
Sudden
problem
death.
with points is it makes
Flag lost.
it's trying to make the games relatively even with the way they did it.
Game over.
Yeah, so MP ends up keeping a flag, which is kind of
Yeah,
absurd
poor
because
execution
BME
to
yeah BME
all
was,
that.
didn't really know how to close that out. I feel. Yeah, no, even the way they did points back then, they wouldn't treat each game as the same number of points. So, like, literally some points or some games would be worth more points than others, which is absurd on its face. But even if you did make them equivalent points, it's just so much easier for certain map and game type combinations to max points than others. So they're still not going to be relatively even, in that sense. So it can never be done in a fair way, and the most fair way is just to count the win as 1 point and just be done with it. That's it.
Yeah.
Magne, I think MVP. Dwarf too. I really like to see that Dwarf's got some big numbers because I really feel like I want to see Dwarf get some bigger roles, and I just always known him as a solid player. Magne did a great job with Tro. Chohan did great after that initial engagement in conserving his Tro health at least. So he did know when to stop being aggressive. That's good. But that was, interesting engagement. I was expecting more from him for sure on that. Gekko, despite locking himself or locking his teams, killing one of his own team's locks, he still put up good numbers. So... Naelot, I think too, probably did well. That north that NP had, I think, did a pretty decent job with that initial fight that they took. And I actually thought NP was up slightly after that initial fight, but then you just kind of saw them like turtle up mid. And they didn't know how to get their locks and other arty out front into an aggressive posture to be able to get line of sight and have proper be able to like actually hit stuff, right? And so for that reason, like they just kind of like got collapsed on and kept retreating, and like it was just very awkward to watch their like team formation there just kind of fall apart.
That's where they lost the game because they did have the trial health advantage early in the
Yeah, for
game.
sure.
But then they just like got whittled away trying to just hold out one flag. I don't know why they didn't like break off like something to go secure another flag so they knew that they could just like retreat from it if needed.
Yeah, I would have to. I didn't see exactly what happened, but I suspect they wasted their extra tro health trying to push into their souls, which is like, that's always the thing you want to be careful of. Is like really try to not let the opponent's souls get their value. I mean, that's so important. If they had just, they literally could have just retreated to their soul hill, held from there, and ran the timer out while just making sure you don't get flagged and leverage that tro health advantage on the outside of the map away from the opponent's souls is what they should have done, right? Anyway, we'll go to the next one. Flag Rally Calm, another classic.
MP is rotating their roster like crazy each game.
Yeah, I noticed that on every film. It's pretty much like that. I think they just had a huge roster and a ton of people showed up. So yeah, I mean back then the rosters were I think like max 16 players on a team. So yeah, and it was not uncommon to have very large rosters. So
Chohan gets all the Heron healers for them.
okay, it could work out. It's interesting.
And RedPhoenix for other teams, so they both do the same thing.
So that kind of tells you who the top kind of. It kind of tells you who the top heavy hitters are, pretty much, for each team respectively, which is pretty much who we thought they would be. So yeah.
I sort of like MP's trade better, I think. I don't know.
So 10 archers, it looks like, for NP. They get close to max plus. Max goals and almost max warriors. So yeah, I like, was this?
Game
This is
on.
shit, flag rally. I'm at 11:58, by the way. Yeah, BME much heavier archers, not nearly as many goals or warriors. Yeah, so I definitely prefer MP's trade as well. Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one.
The only thing that frustrates me is like I like their trade, but like why not give it the full bust, especially when you have that many wars?
Yeah, I mean they're only short one white at least from max, I think.
True.
So
Yeah,
not
that's tough.
as big of a deal. They're all gonna jugger to one side. Uh, I mean, I hate to say it. Unfortunately, although I like their trade better, I think what they're doing is maybe the worst thing to do with this trade, though, which is like just this massive one army jugger to one side of the map. Like, sure, if BME is dumb enough to take the fight, but otherwise, they have MP has the melee advantage here. You'd really want to be stretching the opponent out and leveraging flags and running the timer out to play for the end game. Like either
Specifically
look
on
for
flag
clean,
rally.
yeah, either look for clean pinches and surrounds and rushes somewhere throughout the game. Like you can play the maneuver game with your fast melee advantage throughout the most of the game, but then you're also if nothing comes up that they don't give you anything, then you're also fine to just run the timer out. Time is on your side still. So that's how I would play it. And by them juggering to one side, they're not going to really stretch BME out here. So it's not. I don't know how effective it's going to be. We'll have to see. If they get into a prolonged archer battle, that's what BME is going to want, right? Like that's going to favor BME's trade the most. So we'll see. Ready to start it?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'd say through 3 games, the trades are pretty much the same. Like, I don't think any team's got a significant advantage through the trades, but
No. I thought the trades were significantly different. Like NP has got much more goals and warriors,
captured.
and a little bit less
Or
archers.
this game?
Flag captured.
Yeah, this game.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, yeah, it's true.
Flag
This game's the
captured.
first game where I feel like the trade is quite a difference, but the BME's had better splits every single game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Maybe not this one. BTT doesn't take units up for once for whatever reason.
Yeah. I agree with you. I thought you were saying this game the trades were the same. I must have misheard
just in
you.
general.
Flag
Oh, okay.
captured.
Gotcha.
I don't even see what units he has.
Okay, NP is not juggering one side. It was just that that one line on the map. So good. Okay, they're doing the 3-prong. They're fine. Yeah, no, I much prefer what NP is doing here.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Flag
they got a good
captured.
strat going here.
Flag captured.
They didn't
Flag
mix
captured.
archers
Flag
with the water
captured.
push either, which is nice.
BME is kind of doing like primarily a 2-prong with just Chohan on the weak 3-prong by himself with the Hurons and a few goals. I don't think he's going to find any value by himself like that, but we'll see. Actually, he's kind of going up against a bunch of warriors, which might be good for him, actually.
Flag
I feel
captured.
like RedPhoenix is going to decide the game
Flag
for
captured.
either a win or loss first team because he's got all the Heron healers and a gold pack. Like, that's a freaking significant unit set right there.
Very
captured.
big unit set, yeah. Creme already.
Rough. Yes,
Yeah,
3%
losing. I mean,
he
hopefully,
decides a plus.
yeah, hopefully he can recover that plus that dudded, but that was a really sloppy play. Man, that north is just looking really quiet. Like fire is like stopping before he's even hit the halfway point of the map. It's just like no opponent in sight, and he's in a valley too. He hasn't even taken the high ground. It's weird what he's doing there. BME just kind of stopping in arty range of the middle. Like, okay, now he's back. That's Acheron, taking a while to move there. Chohan, nope, never mind. I thought he was looking to make a play, but he backed out.
Stand clear.
Oh, it's flag rally. Okay. Oh shit. For some reason I thought it was Tirri's. Okay, flag rally, which favors NP's trade even more, I must say. And it shows in the map. I mean, they're up in flags already right off the bat. They're up 1 flag.
Flag captured.
I really don't know what Fire is doing. Like, it's flag rally. He had time to push for that flag 3. Oh, they did get flag 3. Okay, never mind. I don't know what he's backing off against an inferior force though, and he keeps backing off into the valley instead of taking a high ground. I really don't like what Fire is doing here. His positioning is way off.
Well, I mean, look at Dwarf. Dwarf's giving it high ground because of Fire's position.
Yeah,
If he
Fire's
would've
just
been in
giving
the
it to
right
him.
spot, Dwarf would have never been able to get up
Yeah,
there.
he's just giving it to him. It's just crazy. No big plays made by either team yet, though. It's just been positioning. No big fight, anyway. Gekko getting behind them a little bit. That's interesting. Gekko's got to be careful because Chohan's got a perfect set of units to take him out.
I don't even see where Gekko's at. Okay. Oh, yeah, Gekko's probably dead.
Gekko's going really deep, and Chohan is all over him.
That's just 1 plus and he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, RedPhoenix is trying to close into... I mean, Gekko's got to at least spread the hell out. RedPhoenix is trying to close the distance to assist him.
I think the gap's just too big. So he's going to get so many...
I don't think
kills
Chohan can fully kill Gekko,
Florida.
but he can definitely
Flag
pick off
captured.
maybe half of them.
Yeah, half of them for sure. He's being smart with his pass up to this point, considering it.
Yeah, he's just got to run them down. He can run them down. If he's spread out, he can run them down with the Hurons. It's fine. And he spends a pus. Oh, it does. But it was a good pus. He was gonna get like 3 or 4 warriors. Okay, good
Good puss
good
right
puss.
there.
Good puss.
Make sure to get
Good
a lot of
engagement by
that.
Chohan so far. This is really clean.
Really clean fight from
Really
him.
clean. Yep. He's got the thrall to back him up right there. Okay, he should re-engage right now. He should re-engage those thrall or warriors.
Yeah, he should go
What's
with
he
the
doing?
warriors.
Re-engage the warriors.
There we go.
There you go. Should save that goal. Re-pick up the pus. Heal it. Nice. Real clean by Chohan. Now Chickenwire is here now as well, and Jushius. So
And Rattle Snake. It's
Victory
like
imminent.
oh,
Teams,
but
pretty much.
NP is smart. They're going for flags. They got the victory imminent. So Chohan's Herons are really nicely vetted though. They're really nicely vetted. Chohan's got to basically win this for his team at this point. He's got to like get a clean fight, win the Heron fight against
is he
RedPhoenix.
gonna kill that Heron?
Oh man.
Decent pause actually there.
Yeah.
Take the
Yeah.
field back.
This might be a really good engagement here. Ooh. Chohan's trying.
If he had a
Oh,
pus,
that pus doesn't. That goal doesn't have a pus anymore. I thought it did.
Yeah, if he did, it would be.
A little too many warriors to try and bite
Acheron's
off.
coming to support him with the pus though. If he can hit a big
Yeah,
pus
if that
right
pus
here.
can link up with
I
him.
don't like that pus.
Ooh, that was from Acheron.
The idea was good, but he could have set it up better. It's working though.
No, it's fine. That was enough. That was enough. He's good. Chohan's got to heal. Okay, he's good.
He's gonna have a massive game.
Ooh, Chohan's got to heal. Yeah, he's all over it. Ooh, he's got so many more warriors to kill. He needs another pus with him. He's gonna have to back out here soon. Back out. Heal.
Wow,
Back out. Oh my god, he is milking those heals so good. He's gonna.
Wow.
Oh wow, he finished that. Holy shit, those Herons are so vetted. Damn. Oh wow, NP is way down on percent now. Holy shit. BME is still gonna win it, even though NP got the flags. Yeah, I mean, I said Chohan's gonna have to win it for his team, and it looks like he's going to. Wait. Are they gonna get flagged? Oh, flag 2. Oh shit. It's real close here. No, I think they're fine.
Should be fine.
Rattlesnake's gonna be there in time, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no! Oh, that was such a bad bounce. Shit.
Again!
Oh, again! Oh my god! Loial! Jesus Christ!
That was unlucky.
Chohan just says, please stop that. If I was Chohan, I'd be pissed, but he's just like, please stop. Smiley face. Oh, man.
Victory imminent.
Wow, great, big game for Chohan.
Chohan.
Chohan was MVP for this game for sure. It's not over yet, but I feel like BME should have in the bag with 4 minutes to go. So
You might want to pause it because GKG says the stream is froze when Chohan was cleaning up those orders.
oh, it's just the stream, not the recording. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
Although-
Yeah, I mean, it's a wrap now. They defend that flag, and they're up 40%.
Oh yeah, my computer is taking a crap on me. It won't let me restart the stream, unfortunately. Oh wait, hang on. I think I got it. Oh yeah, I don't know. It's OBS can't connect to Twitch for some reason or something. So no stream, unfortunately. The recording's still going. We're still good on that. Okay, yeah, wow. NP, I felt had a pretty good advantage with their trade and everything, but man, like really under executed big time. The Gekko kind of had the Gekko making big plays in this match. I'll just say Gekko making big plays, mostly good, but this one was bad because he kind of baited his whole team into a disadvantageous position and fight there. So. RedPhoenix was kind of like chasing him, trying to reinforce things to close that gap, and it was just not a good fight. Really stellar play by Chohan. There's several times there I thought his Heron was going to die, and he was milking that health like for every inch. Like,
Yeah, his points were on heal. He maximized his heals for sure.
really big props to BME to pull this out. Yeah, that execution by MP was just not very good. Think of, oh, you know what's so painful? Oh my god. That flag 2, which was the last flag NP needed, if Fire had pushed for that flag early on, they might have had that flag.
Flag captured.
And they definitely would have had flag 3 earlier. Yeah, that's painful. Like, we were just talking about how Fire could have pushed there, and he was just sitting back, and like that ended up being the flag they needed. Was possibly the flag he could have gotten. So, big numbers for Chohan. Yeah, clearly MVP that game. Like, that's the Chohan I was expecting right there. That's the kind of Chohan game I want to see. That was big. I like seeing that. Did Tirri not play in this game? Oh yeah, I guess not. Okay, so yeah, he was he sat, so 7v7. Yeah, okay. Creme had some big numbers. I don't remember what he had though. It might have been a warrior pack on those. I think he had a warrior pack hitting Chohan's Herons for the heals. That's why he probably had some big damage.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but he still had heavy losses. So yeah, no, that was a good game to watch. It was interesting at least. Dwarf, Loial, yeah. Acheron, I don't know. Yeah, is Acheron kind of standing out as the weaker player on BME right now? I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say he's played bad up to this point. I haven't noticed anything like bad, but I mean, he's definitely
I agree.
their role player. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, so interesting. Rabican is sitting. So whenever Rabican sits, then Tirri has to cap. Kind of a weaker NP roster here. No RedPhoenix, no Rabican. It's a Tro map. We've already kind of suspected that BME might be stronger on Tro maps. It's a Tro fetch map. So again, as I always say, look for the Tro fetch pushes here. Soulblighter's already been given a Tro right off the bat. That scares me. We have Cannibal Ox and Lars Jaeger for the first time for BME. Curious to see what they're going to do. But I heavily favor BME just off the fact of, like, it looks like a weaker NP roster and it's a Tro map, which I think
They got like
BME's going to be
all the
stronger.
role players in this game.
Yeah.
Trixta, Zell, Zaramis,
Zaramis,
Dante. Dang.
Yeah, agreed.
They're throwing the towel at this point, or what the heck?
Yeah, what's the match score right now?
2 wins and 1 tie for BME, and on that tie, they had more points.
Right, yeah. So NP is really, like, struggling heavily in this match right now. Yeah, if they have to turn it around soon, otherwise. And do we know who's the top bracket finalist? Is it BME?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, all right. So BME has the sudden death advantage as well. Chohan showing again, not surprised at all. Definitely would still keep giving Chohan Tro. Want to see some better Troing than I maybe saw the first game. I expect to see that. He was just kind of like overly aggressive in that first game, but we got Dwarf on fetch. I like seeing that. Magne and Loial on fetch. Yeah. So Lars kind of looking like maybe somewhat of a role player. Cannibal Ox is sitting, so we won't be able to see him this game, unfortunately. Three-way Tro split
Game
for
on.
NP with, oh my god, I never thought these words would come out of my mouth. So the 3 Troers for NP are Soulblighter, Zaramis, and Zell. That's kind of wild, right? I guess I see what they're thinking. Like, that's the only unit those players have. So, like, their full attention is dedicated to that one Tro. That's what they're doing here. And they gave instead what I guess they perceived as their best players the fetch. So you got Chickenwire with 4 fetch. Tirri has a lot of units, but it looks like it's just Zerks and a Dwarf. Surprised.
something that's strange to me with MP is, I mean, based on every film I've seen, Dante, in my mind, would be one of the role players, but he always
he
gets
gets heavy units.
massive percents
Yeah.
every time he's in the game.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Yeah. And I don't know why, but they always talked very highly of him back then. Like he was like one of the heavy hitters for NP, but I just never really saw it. I didn't see it that way. But yeah, but he has the 4 fetch here, so they clearly saw it that way back. We'll see. I'm curious to see what he does with those 4 fetch. I think it's a absolute travesty though that Tirri does not give himself fetch on this. Like he's one of the best fetchers ever, if not the best fetcher ever. Like, damn, give yourself some fetch, man. Like, holy shit. But yeah, like I guess as a captain, I'm sure if Rabican was capping, he probably would have wanted the fetch or would be given the fetch. But like because he's capping, I feel like he doesn't want to take a heavier role, which it's just like they're shying away too much from that, I feel. I unfortunately expect Chohan to punish this 3-way tro split by NP very heavily. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna be all over that shit.
Yeah, I expect this to be a blowout, to be honest.
Yeah, because they're gonna just set up that tro fetch push, and with the 3-way tro split, NP is not gonna be able to effectively engage Chohan's tro at all. And that tro fetch push that I'm sure I'm really curious to see if Chohan sets it up because like it's like, hey, did they know how to set this up by 2004? I want to say yes. But let's see. And yeah, I expect this to be a total blowout for BME, but yeah, let's see it. You ready to start?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. That's CTF. I actually like this is like a rare map, I think, that I do like the idea of keeping one dwarf hero on the flag as D.
For the spotters or what?
Yeah. Just force some melee to spread out at the very least. Makes that melee defense quite a bit more effective. And there's no like pus or anything to pick it off, right? Like, yeah, so I think the dwarf is a lot easier to defend and more effective in that sense.
I'm surprised that MP did the 3 trial split and they sent all the 3 trial mode.
It's so crazy, yeah. It's really so crazy. You'd expect them to like, I mean, these days if you wanted to try doing a 3-way tro split, which I'm not sure that I ever would on this, but if you were, you would expect to set up some RD support or some other kind of support to go with that tro. You wouldn't just like dive them into the backfield like what they're doing right now. Zaramis just diving into the backfield, and now Zell doing the same thing, but they're just gonna shadow. Okay, now to their credit, they got something interesting going on here where Chohan's not able to effectively set up a good tro engagement because he's just kind of shadowing. So maybe in some kind of weird way they're kind of neutralizing Chohan here. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Whatever it is, like Chickenwire and Dante need to lead their team. Like that's the only.
What is Zaramis doing? He's gonna get trapped.
Oh my god, he's taking a punch, but he's not trapped yet.
Could have got out and
Chickenwire and Dante really need to lead their team right now to some kind of win here, because that's their only chance.
Man,
Chickenwire's already up. Okay, they're up a fetch.
So much stronger right now.
I do like NP's middle better right now. And they're up a fetch right now, which is good. But like, yeah, Soulblighter is, well, they're both in each other's face right now. Oh, there, now Chohan's gonna punish it. Here he goes. He's gonna start kicking some fetch. He's gotta make sure, careful not that he get heel trapped here. Ooh. Okay, he's good, man.
Soulblighter to get some fetch too.
Did he get some fetch? Okay.
Yeah, he
That's
did,
pretty
but
poor
he cost
defense.
more health.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Oh!
Oh! Dirt! Oh! Chohan gets taken out, but a little too risky there. Ooh, they're way down now.
Flag
Oh, they're
contested.
way down. They're down a full tro.
Oh, and
That's...
the other trial is getting suicided too.
Oh, Conan's lost. They're down 2 tro. Wow, we totally miscalled this.
As long as they
Wow.
heal up these trials, it's over.
Chohan down to 1 tro, and he's being too ballsy with those tro, man. Way too aggressive. We saw it in the last tro game too. Way too aggressive with the
He needs to
tro.
try to freeze that red trial there before he gets heal support.
Yes, maybe even the yellow one too.
Heal that trail. Oh, he should heal that green trail. Instead of trying to fight it.
Right. Oh my god. They're gonna lose all their fetch. They can't defend them.
It doesn't even matter if they kill the trail at this point. They
Yep.
lost too
It's
much.
the tro. They did freeze the stone the 1 tro. NP's really gotta heal their other tro. Okay, I think BME has lost all their fetch at this point. NP, yeah, NP's got 4 fetch. They got it in the bag.
So, are these MP's role players? They're getting the win for that.
You know what? As soon as I saw how Chohan was reacting to that by just shadowing, which I absolutely thought was the wrong play, you should not be so scared of a tro by itself in your backfield with no support. I feel like they were way too scared about it. It's like, just throw some extra, especially if you have any spiders, perfect time to throw them on D to just prevent the tro. Like, and by the way, this is why you want to get spiders. If they just had spiders, wow, what a perfect squad that would have been to shadow those tro, and then you wouldn't have had to worry about them at all. In fact, what a perfect squad to trap those fucking tro. You know what I mean? Like, but they didn't get not enough spiders anyway.
Contested.
And I really feel like the way Chohan reacted there by shadowing it, I really didn't like that. I really didn't like that. He should have countered by just punishing. As soon as if I was in Chohan's position, as soon as I see their tro doing that, I go, okay, just send enough melee to make sure they can't flag us. And as soon as we're good with that, I'm just going to punish their fetch. All he had to do is rush their fetch. Their fetch are the anchor point. All he's got to do is set up the tro fetch push on their fetch. Game over.
Flag contested.
They did have some spiders. Maybe not quite enough, but that was enough spiders to help beef up that flag D and defend the flag.
Flag contested.
Very efficiently. Okay, Chohan does kick 3 more fetch.
I
But
have no
still
idea
not...
how those fetch guys.
Yeah, like they're not defending this very well at all.
Oh, he's getting trapped again?
Oh my god. Yes, he does. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah. Very aggressive player, I must say. Very aggressive player. Normally I like seeing very aggressive throwers. I have no doubt he's a very aggressive thrower, but holy shit.
Yeah, not the greatest game from him.
This was, Chohan's sloppy throwing didn't cost his team the first game, but it absolutely did this game. And this was like the game I would have most heavily favored them to win.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Another trap.
The throw doesn't even want to kick. It's like, just kick, dude.
Survive somehow? What the heck?
Yeah. Well, they barely had a good surface area on him,
Flag
so yeah,
contested.
makes sense. Well, he should have started kicking for
captured.
sure. Okay, Dante. Wow, I guess all that shit we talked about Dante, he just shut us the hell up. Like, look at that, big numbers. Like, Dante and Chickenwire did exactly what they needed to do, which was to fucking make their team win. And damn, the 3-way tro dedicated tro split there, like, just confused the shit out of BME. They just did not know what the fuck to do there.
Well,
that was a wild game to see. I'm gonna be disappointed if that's the last tro game. I was really expecting something much more from Chohan from this tro games here. It's unfortunate, but props to NP pulling out. I really did not think that they were gonna win that one. Full props for them.
that would be the one auto loss I thought for MP.
Yeah, me too. Totally.
Trades and splits.
Yeah, I made the comment about it about when the dedicated three-way tro split, like we've seen it work, and we only see it work in these older films when like the opposing team just does not know how to react to it. And it's always like that where like they end up chasing those tro around and like getting confused by it. Like that's when we always see it be effective. But it's like that's just the wrong way to deal with it. It's just like let those three tro go, and you just gotta like, hey, what can they do? Can they threaten my flag? Okay, then just send more melee back to the flag. Send enough melee back to the flag to defend two tro. Then your three tro are now fully freed up to punish the shit out of their mid, and their mid's gonna like get wiped, and then game over, right? So, all right. So next game here, Tirri's Creep, classic.
MP doubles down with the same roster that got him the win last game.
Very similar roster, yeah. So no Rabican, no RedPhoenix.
Chickenwire, I guess, this game. Bring in Jushius. I think that's the change.
Yeah. I want to see Cannibal Ox play here, too.
He is... Yeah, he gets units this game. So it's Nineball.
If we don't see some bigger games, more like that that one good game Chohan had, which was the Calm game, I want to see some more games like that. Otherwise, like I'm gonna be starting to be a bit more biased towards like interpreting Chohan's legacy more in terms of 1v1 and less so as a team player. You know what I mean? Like, because like in later Myth, we started to recognize that disparity between 1v1 players and team players that wasn't fully understood back then. But I'm really wondering if you can still see that disparity even when looking at these older films.
Yeah. He gets a warrior pack this game, so that's interesting. He doesn't get a mixed squad, just a straight up warrior pack.
We saw him do great with the Herons, so I wonder if those light melee packs is good for him. Yeah. Oh, I was not on double speed. My bad. Hang on. So okay, what do we got here for trades? No, pretty light warriors, pretty heavy archers for BME. It's Tirri's.
Very similar trades.
Tirri's favors a little bit more archers. I still think they went a bit too heavy, but this was convention, I think, back then. This is not back then. It wasn't odd to do something like this. So I think it's okay. And NP does something similar. So looks like, yeah, I mean, this was convention back then. I mean, these trades really are very much like was it Desert that we first watched? Is that right?
Yeah. Or no.
No, it was
Kadarn.
Yeah, this is very much like the Kadarn trades. Very similar. Yeah, and I'm really curious if it plays out similarly. Now, Kadarn was CTF.
Yep.
This is Tirri's, so that favors more. It favors these trades more so actually with just for straight BC fighting. I'm curious to see if it stalemates like that first game. The map here is probably less stalematey than Kadarn, so I suspect not. I think that was probably more of a function of just the map. But you ready to start it?
Do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Game on.
So yeah, I mean, our kind of meta on this is these days is slow archer thrall flank on the near side, whichever side has the wall nearest to you, so you can cross it first, along with like a gold pack. Now that meta is not done, I don't think, in any of these older films, so I wouldn't expect to see that, but they're doing more so. Looks like an even 3-prong, basically, yeah.
Flag
It's territories
captured.
too, so it's harder to get flag pressure.
True.
We're doing something.
True. Yeah, the meta I described for us these days would not be as effective on territories for sure. I know a common strat back then was like to have a light squad guard the wall, the chokes on the wall, and just hold it. I think NP might be doing that with Dante's squad in the north. BME taking a more aggressive flank on their near side, just a bigger force, and with heavier fast melee, they're not trying to be defensive at all.
Flag captured.
The score is 2-1-1, is that right?
Captured.
Yep.
Interesting Zell with that war pack sitting back behind. Yeah, we saw a lot more of that in these older films too. How like they would have this melee squad just sit back in reserve out of sight.
Captured.
Very defensive type of posture. You really would never see that these days. Like these days, the thinking goes that kind of invites your team to get pinned. You're like losing momentum, and it's a very reactionary force, whereas you want to really be more proactive to get the opponent moving to you rather than the other way around.
That's getting scouted out nowadays anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to bait someone into bad rush. Like,
yeah,
teams will see that before.
Even if they can't scout it, they're going to see what player is hidden and know, like, they're going to have a rough idea of where they are and what they have, right? So,
flag captured. Flag lost.
So Zell has got a couple. Zell, or no, it's Tirri. Never mind. Oh, they don't have pus. A couple goals, just kind of harassing and scouting in the backfield. Definitely prefer BME's posture here. They have greater map control. BME can just hold here at this point. They have four flags. They can run the timer out and force NP to try to push into them somewhere.
They're pushing south. They do have the 3v2, and MP only has 1 pus there, so
flag captured.
Yeah, this definitely doesn't look like it's going to stalemate. Ooh, some bad pussing. Chohan and Loial both lost a pus. So, I mean, they got 2 more, but they're already down quite a bit of pus. Good hold so far for NP in the south. Jushius is doing a pretty good job. I like the spread on his archers. He just took a nasty shot though.
Step aside.
I wish the archers were shooting the warriors right now.
Yeah.
Trying to shoot the archers.
Totally agree. Just hit anything. Anything you can hit.
Stand clear. Move over.
I really don't like this BME push. I think it's going to get stuffed pretty hard here by NP. They got 3 players, but NP's got like...
Flag contested.
NP's got at least 3, maybe 4.
Captured.
Yeah, they've supported the
Flag
flank.
lost.
Chohan is engaging him late. Ooh, big pus.
Ooh, really big puss by Chohan. Really nice job by Chohan. He might make a big play here, but the Dwarf's got to come in.
Counter-puss,
Oh, counter puss is out now.
Oh, the Dwarf needs to support that. No, the Dwarf's going the wrong way.
Oh, Jushius
There
got to
he
get a
goes.
shot off. That was kind of a poorly aimed shot though.
Flag lost.
Oh, and it's gonna die. Oh man, another puss goes down. Okay, Chohan's pack is basically dead at this point. Could have been a big play. Chohan needed to spread his warriors out more after he made that puss. He should have gone for the big surround on the puss warriors so that he couldn't be countered so easily like that.
Yeah. He could have just sent in like 3 warriors after getting that big puss and like
Yeah.
not commit the full force.
Stand clear. Stand clear.
Yeah, I mean, that South ended up being completely equal, I think.
Well, it kind of ended up somewhat even. I mean, it's kind of even percentages here, it looks like. Not a clear win for either side.
Flag contested. Flag contested.
I guess the big difference is
Flag
the positioning right now.
Flag contested.
6 minutes left again in the game.
Lost.
It's probably going to go
Flag
down to
contested.
whoever wins the BC fight, I would
Flag
suspect.
contested.
BME pushing middle.
Flag captured.
I mean, I like how aggressive they are, but they're pushing into some pretty strong forces. You don't. Ooh, big pus. Man, Conan had a beautiful pus from behind on their middle. That was beautiful. He set up his middle great. Oh, another big pus. Ooh, BME's middle might get a big win here.
Their South is winning too. Chohan got a decent plus South.
Yep. Okay, so BME's got some good momentum here. I'm really surprised that we're not. Okay, some counter pussing finally from MP. Oh, that Cannibal Ox wastes a pus on an empty goal. He tried to counter pus, but he threw it at an empty goal and he actually missed it as well. That was a really bad pus. Another great pus. Dwarf.
Yeah, my Dwarf.
Dwarf hit. BME's getting some great pus on the MP's middle.
I feel like that's another reason you can't counter pus anymore either, because I think people figured out it's better to get an empty goal than like a extra wire in some sort of situation, so the other team can't counter pus.
Flag contested.
You know, if you got more goals than there are pus, like the other team's risking pussing that goal with no pus.
I mean, the other thing is, if I know that someone's likely just trying to use their pus defensively to counter pus, I will try to bait it and get them to throw it from a farther range and try to juke it. And usually you can have pretty good success with that. So
flag captured.
BME, you know, not
flag lost.
Game-winning advantage yet, but pretty significant advantage. Oh man, once you see Dwarf get in position in the north, it's going to be pretty dunzo, I think, for NP. NP is just getting surrounded every game, I feel. And we kind of were calling it. I was kind of calling it how Zell had that very defensive posture with a Warpack sitting in the backfield. You're kind of inviting your team to get pinned, and that's kind of exactly what happened.
They're in a horrible position right now.
Yeah, they're getting surrounded.
Worse on both sides of them. Like, they're eventually just going to get blasted by one of these Dwarfs.
They couldn't even hold the choke north. I don't even understand it. Like, they let Dwarf just cross that north. If you're going to turtle, at least defend the choke right next to you. Oh, NP gets a nasty dud there. Oh, Dante throws a dud and then doesn't pick it up. Oh, my God. Oh, did you see that in the north?
Nah, I messed up.
Oh man, he gets a nasty dud on Dwarf's clumped archers, and but then he walks right past the dud and doesn't pick it up again. It's crazy.
Flag contested.
Get out of the way.
Gekko's been the most consistent player for MP so far.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, the one calm game was just a matter of positioning. Wasn't like he did poorly in the fight or whatever. Just bad positioning and a mismatch decision.
Flag contested. Flag contested. Flag lost.
I mean, BME is really showing themselves as the better team in this so far, I must say.
Flag contested.
Yeah,
Flag
I mean,
captured.
the big difference is just like, it feels like MP's just like
captured.
play not to lose, you know? Like,
Yeah, they're just
so
kind of sitting
passive.
back. They're just so, yeah, exactly. They're not like setting up an offense really at all. Like the calm game was the one game they set up an offense. But of course, then they still lost the BC fight. So, yeah, even in that calm game, like I also what I'm seeing from these teams is they don't seem to understand how to use the game type and the game clock to leverage advantage in BC fighting, right? Like that calm game, for example, as soon as NP got the victory imminent, like why did we not see them leverage that to run the timer out and just posture for the most advantageous fight possible. Like, they could have done that, right?
Yeah, it's they're definitely not using all their advantages.
Flag
They're just looking for
contested.
PC fights.
Move over.
1 minute.
Seeing that war pack that Zell had sit back in this game also just very painful to see. Like, it's a really early
Step aside.
an early and flawed understanding of the game, doing strategies like that. I mean,
Flag
it's kind of like the Raziel mind school of thinking with myth strategy, I'd say. It's like, hey, we're just going to sit on our side of the map and wait for them to do something and then react to whatever they do. That's basically what they're
Flag
doing.
lost. 30 seconds remaining. Flag captured.
Dang. Are they gonna let MP get a flag again? I mean,
Yeah.
of course, probably
yeah.
still offside at this point, but
it's,
still.
it's looking like that, yeah. Because that J-Man is not going to get to that west flag, I don't think. Especially if it takes the flag.
Flag lost.
Yeah.
I think Jushius had a solid game too. He defended pretty well south for a while there.
Yeah.
Game over.
Yeah. Yeah. And BME does not know how to close out these games 6-0 when the points matter. Yeah. Jushius had a good game. NP's mid really should have just backed out, I feel, the moment that their backline was compromised with those Puskulls. Like, just back out, because there's no flag middle that you need to hold on to. It's Tirri's anyway. Not you plenty of time. Like, I feel like the game was close until you saw that there's like 3 pus, I think, that happened from behind on the
Yeah, they had a
middle,
really good
and it was
postures
like
there
it just
as well.
crushed that middle, and that's kind of where the game got decided, I feel. Dwarf had some good numbers. He was on that north. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who else really stood out. It was more like it was less about individual plays on this game and more about what was happening at the team level, I feel.
Yeah. They got that surround on mid and they were in trouble at that point.
Yeah. Magne says FFS should have got them all. Yep. Should have got them all, is for sure. Ooh, another Tro map. Fantastic. I do want to see Chohan have one good Tro game, because I just haven't seen it yet. RedPhoenix says, worst idiots I've ever played against. So, yeah, NP and BME really having some bad blood against one another in this match. Which is kind of funny to me, because usually it's like the Americans versus the Euro kind of personality clashes, but here it's like 2 European teams having a personality clash, you know what I mean?
Definitely unique. That doesn't really
Yeah,
happen.
you usually don't see that so much, yeah.
They're usually all buddies and usually intertwined between teams.
Exactly. Okay, so BME doing split tro. Oh, man, unfortunately, so everybody was talking about this before about how campy Great Divide is. So yeah, we're playing got another Great Divide. It is flag rally at least, so that is going to force the teams to not just run the timer out, like not wait for the end of the game, right? BME is choosing to split tro, and this time it's Loial instead of Magne on the tro. We'll see. Magne did a great job with the tro last time, so I'm kind of like just find that interesting. And you got 3 soul squads for BME and kind of just spread arty. There's a lot of arty to control on this map, so that makes sense. And interesting. The soul squads do not have the spiders. I was expecting to see the solars have spiders, but apparently that's not the case for BME. And then NP, we got RedPhoenix all the way as primary trower. Yep, makes sense. Yeah, I think RedPhoenix did fine in that other tro game, although they did lose. So obviously maybe should have done something better. But
There's one big thing I'm noticing here. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
Oh, no fetch for BME?
The fetch situation.
Yeah, no fetch for BME.
What's max fetch here?
What's max? 9, I think.
Oh, wow. So both teams, I mean, even MP got far from max fetch.
Yeah, I think we talked about this on another Great Divide map we watched. I do agree you don't need to max them here. It's the dwarfs and souls are just too powerful with all the height advantages, right? But going no fetch, I'm not sure if I entirely agree with that either. Like, I like somewhere between 2 and 4 because whenever the fetch are on even ground, or they're not fighting uphill at least against, souls or dwarfs, they still are quite effective. So there are certain terrain that they can be effective in. And like, it's flag rally. I mean, I don't know if like 2 extra Zerks is really what's going to be the most valuable thing to do. But I also don't think it's like the end of the world, the fact that BME got no fetch. Like, they're not super game deciding here. I think it's okay, actually, what they did.
I think I just don't understand. Like, if you don't get the early flag advantage, how do you set up something offensive without the fetch to try to block?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You do need, like, the one thing you need fetch for is to push. Like, they are definitely your pushers. Fantastic for that. So, yeah, you have a point. We'll have to see how it plays out. Like, assuming they can hold on to flag advantage, they won't be punished for that, I guess, right? So we'll see. You ready to start it?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
Game on.
Okay. Tro are going in different directions. I like seeing that. Split Tro, I'm not like. Split Tro is okay on this, I think. I would. Oh, the Troers do have Zerks. That's great. Does Chohan
Split Tro definitely is gonna break up the camp and make it aggressive somewhere.
Yeah. Plus, you're gonna be able to set up Tro. There's plenty of arty on this map that you can set up Tro arty pushes on more than one front. That's totally acceptable. Do we see if Chohan has Zerks with his Tro? I don't think so.
Flag captured.
Does not.
Yeah, so we see that a lot in these early years. These early years, they did not like to give the Troers Zerks. RedPhoenix, I don't think has any either.
Flag.
So even on a map like this, where you give like
flag captured,
if you're gonna give all the Tro to one player, so they have 3 Tro, even though that's already a lot of percent, I would still give them also like 4 Zerks. So. Troers need to be like finding ways to ignore the enemy souls. Solars need to be shadowing the Tro big time.
They're calling for an all-out rush mode MPS.
Oh wow, that is really ballsy.
I don't understand why. There's only.
I think that's foolish. The
they
souls are just going to retreat the hill.
Yeah, they can literally kick 1 Zerk and 1 Dwarf. Every other unit can just go on a hill.
And now they're taking a bunch of damage for that Dwarf. They already lost a Dwarf. Oh, but Rattle Snake's got to get to that high ground before the Tro cut him off.
Flag captured.
Yeah, they're wrong because the fetch were coming in. Oh.
Ooh, that Dwarf needs to throw at the fetch. Oh, the Dwarf can throw at the fetch.
Just out here, maybe. Oh, he messed it up.
Go.
There he goes. He got the second time.
Nice.
Now, that Trout died. The Trout died. That was.
Oh my god, that was such a foolish rush. Yeah, that was a very foolish rush. Bad call. Tirri called that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, the souls are just gonna retreat to the hill, and then you're gonna take a ton of damage.
Let's get kicked.
Man, yeah, they rushed it, and they're now down percent.
They're still chasing a Trout, even though the souls
they're still chasing. Yeah, they're still running around these souls. I mean, they're ignoring exactly what I said, which is that the Troers need to find ways to ignore the enemy souls.
Chohan's taking a fight. It's a risky
Yep.
one.
He's got a... oh, is he going to go for it? Wow. He is so aggressive as a thrower. I've never seen a thrower so aggressive, honestly. He's more aggressive than Zur. Most aggressive thrower I've ever seen. It's crazy. He actually got out like fairly cleanly there. Like, yeah, I mean it was fine. I mean, it was mostly an even trade, but it was fine.
Can't do anything the rest of the game though. He's just gonna be shadowed at this point.
I mean, it's fine. He needs to rely on, you know, you have to, as a myth player in a large team game like this, you have to recognize when you need to rely on the rest of your team to make a play, because like you realize that you don't have any good play to make, but that should leave an opening somewhere else on the map, right? So
I mean, they probably don't need to make a play at this point. They got flag advantage, and the trade they got was like totally defensive. So if you things set up right, it's probably like a wrap.
man, Rattle Snake is so clumped with these souls, and he's not fighting those. Oh my god, Rattle Snake, man, that was really sloppy. He's gonna end up losing all those souls when he should have been able to keep all those souls alive easily. Wow, he got cleaned up badly. It's like a 3v1 pinch right there. If he had just spread his souls and actually pushed into the spiders on the hill to take back control of that hill, he would have survived.
Tirri's in a rough position though. He's got all those Zerks with the green trail. They literally need to bring just one of those Dwarf heroes to support the trail, and then the trail can just slowly pick them off.
Lars has got to get his Dwarf out there with that tro. I would just hand the Dwarf to the trower at that point, to be honest. Percentages did even up a little bit. Might not be totally a lost game for NP, although they are down fairly significantly still. Their souls really need to be aggressive and do something.
Yeah, I don't know. All those ones are sitting on defense.
Yeah, their souls are just defending against some Zerks, which is doing nothing for them. And they need to set up an offense if they're down on flags. Loial is going on the hunt here with his tro middle. I don't think it's a good play because there's spiders and souls right there, although they're not defending that tro or that dwarf. He's gonna take the cake and the damage. Yeah.
Okay, finally the souls.
He didn't take too much damage for that dwarf though. It's probably worth it. Again, like Trixta's souls, like why are you not defending that middle against the tro? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's the one thing he could do, and he's not doing it. I think he does see that he should be doing that right now. He just didn't see it earlier, so he is headed over there now, I think. Oh my god, did you see that?
Where was that?
Kind of northwest of mid. Fire was baiting with his dwarf against Loial's tro to try and get his tro to kick it.
Ooh, did you see that?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Fire was trying to do that earlier without any Zerk support, and he instead ends up throwing a point blank shot and killing his own dwarf.
Oh no.
That was really sloppy by Fire there. That defense there. He actually should have been able to hold that. That was really sloppy by him. He ends up like dying really cleanly to BME. So now BME is now way up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what MP can really do at this point.
Yeah, me neither.
They're sort of just like, yeah, they don't have anything on offense that's actually a threat.
It was mostly almost game over just from that mid rush.
True.
Five minutes remaining.
I don't know. There's not much to comment on right now. Like,
No.
not much
There's
is
a
happening.
little fight in the north. Loial gets actually getting killed pretty cleanly by NP. So actually that just evened the percentages out a fair amount right there. Loial takes a really bad fight and gets trapped, and then gets killed really cleanly. Like 4 Zerks and a like half health tro or so.
Is that Chug gonna be able to take this flag? Chohan?
Chohan, I think, has the last tro for MP or BME.
Oh yeah, they're definitely taking that flag. He's got
Oh
support
yeah,
going
yeah,
up.
he's definitely got it.
He needs to be running for the fetch though, or whatever. It's fine. I guess it goes to Zerks.
Flag captured.
Oh, he cut the flag. The Dwarf.
Imminent.
Oh my. Gekko should have at least kept the Dwarf on the flag for that. Wow. Oh, that was a little bit of a blunder there.
That's a VI, isn't it?
Yeah, because Gekko just gave him VI, and he didn't force the Tro to at least kick the Dwarf. Like, at least the Tro probably would have died trying to take that flag
Yep,
if,
would've.
yeah, if he had done that.
How much time left? 3 minutes? Yeah, they would need BME to blunder pretty hard to win this game. BME's just been the more aggressive team, like, throughout. Like,
They look like they prepared too. Like, and when I look at what NP's doing, I really don't see preparation.
Incoming! Look out! You're dead.
I mean, I feel like
Oh, yeah.
the team that's reactionary is gonna lose the game like 80% of the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, I agree with that.
If you're playing reactionary, it's almost like you don't have a plan to win. Like, you're just hoping the other team misplays the clock, right, to win. Like,
Yeah.
they take a 5 before they need to.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, and loses the BC fight.
This is game 6, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So they probably win the series if they close out this game, I assume.
Oh, you're right. 3-1-1. Yeah, this is match point here. Yeah, I mean, for as stacked as this NP roster is, pretty underwhelming performance by them as a team, I must say.
It would have been interesting if this MP roster was split up into 2 teams, because they had a freaking ton of people show for these finals.
Yeah, that's true. Like, they kind of diluted how stacked they were with how big the roster was, and just rotating so many people out. It's kind of like the problem that NC suffered with in later years as well, trying to get everybody game time.
I just don't, like, if you're gonna have rosters that are that big and active, why not just like create extra competitive teams instead of just like, having people
1
sit all the
minute
time.
remaining.
Yeah, I mean, but that was like the thing with the early myth teams was like they allowed 16-player rosters. You could have 16-player clans for ranked play, and people would often max that roster out. And I don't know why they didn't think about.
Flag.
I guess for
captured.
most teams that didn't get into the finals,
Set
it wouldn't have
down.
mattered. But like for very competitive finalist teams, definitely as a detriment. RedPhoenix trying to pick up one more point, I guess. He actually had a really good engagement there. He even picked the correct Zerk to kick first. Yeah, he can't. He might be able to actually take that. He kicked it from the Oh! I can't believe that Dwarf took the bait by throwing like that. Wow. Yeah, I mean,
Rattle Snake, yeah.
got the
damage.
Yeah, because he had he had those souls middle. So like he had a great early game, but then he got like picked off really cleanly at the after that. So like kind of a mixed performance from him, I guess. Like they kind of handed him like a dream scenario on a silver platter by rushing that middle into his souls. So he kind of benefited from that. Chohan had a really great game, I think. Loial had, again, kind of a similar boat as Rattle Snake. Loial had some big plays and then kind of like died badly after that. And then RedPhoenix looked like he had a big match. He must have pushed with that middle, but without dying so much. I guess is what happened. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I guess he hit the trail, so yeah.
Because he had all 3 tro, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see... No, he did lose that 1 tro kind of sloppily, right? Because he had all 3 tro. So, yeah, he lost that 1 tro kind of sloppily, but yeah. So yeah, I guess that's kind of... Trixta had the soul pack, but he really didn't do much. Like, his position was really off all game. And I think Soulblighter might have had another soul pack. I'm not positive, though.
Game over.
Well, at least that wasn't a campy Great Divide. For all the people who are complaining about Great Divide, at least this one wasn't campy. So, and now the match has been decided at this point, but they do play it out with the last game here. So, and this is wow. I didn't even know that Barons was in existence by 2004. This must have been pretty early upon its first release, I would think. I could be wrong, but...
Yeah, I think it's the first time we're seeing it in the finals.
Yeah.
New players in this game, too. ViperX.
Oh, yeah, ViperX.
That's interesting. See how he does. Shinco's in this game.
I actually joined Men of Rohan like slightly after this, I think maybe around 2005 time frame, or maybe it was earlier. I actually don't remember. I think I was on Men of Rohan around this time. I'm not sure why I wasn't in MWC per se, but yeah, I'm guessing he's a spectator. I don't think he's actually on NP.
He was on the roster. I don't know if he plays in this game, but he was on their team.
He was on the roster. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Men in Rohan didn't really exist. Like the original clan was kind of like disbanded by this point. Those players had stopped playing. So ViperX actually was like kind of trying to rekindle the clan by bringing in new blood among me and some of my buddies. Kind of joined.
Yeah, he does get units.
So this is gonna be like just a straight up BC fight, and it's kind of like. I mean, it's not pure light, but we've seen BME do better with these units so far this match, I would just say, and with BC fighting in general as well. So although NP has been losing a lot on positioning too, so maybe if you take out the positioning component, maybe they'll perform better when it's just pure BC. So we'll see. interesting that we don't see RedPhoenix. As soon as Tirri starts capping, we don't see RedPhoenix or Rabican for the rest of the match. And also Chickenwire only played one more game, I think, for Tirri for that keep game. And then we don't see him again either. So it's
Well,
kind of
RedPhoenix
interesting.
played last game, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Oh, you're right. Oh,
Yeah, he
you're
was
right.
the
You're right. He was a thrower. You're right. You're right. Yep. So just not Rabican and then Chickenwire, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they made roster decisions. Maybe they just lost all those games to Rabican at the beginning. They thought it was over. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe the match, because they had such a bad start to the match, that could have been why. Yeah, could be. Yeah, they split all the arty pretty good, I would say. Well, the archers are split excessively. They have like look at this. They have 4 archer guys. Viper has 1 archer. It's kind of awkward.
Oh, MP. Okay.
Yeah, for MP. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
that is
4
awkward.
morts. Okay, I think that's fine. Yeah.
The one archer is very awkward.
Only 1 mort for BME, which is a little surprising. Actually, this is really heavy warriors for BME.
Yeah, they're gonna have to play like for late game, run the clock out. So.
Yeah, and even then, it's no guarantee that trade wins the end game rush. So yeah, I think it's probably still at a disadvantage. So I actually prefer NP's trade a lot here, and I think because NP can't lose on positioning, which is what seems to be getting them in trouble most of the time, I think I'm actually going to favor them to win this, even though it doesn't matter.
MP win. They'll get their second win here.
We'll see, though. You ready to start it?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Game on.
I'm gonna watch ViperX this game. If I remember right, him and Skeletor appeared the 2 best players to me from Rohan.
There were 2 other players that come to mind that were pretty good as well. I mean, you're not wrong about that, but also I think Rohan, who was like the leader of the guild, was decent. And then Monte 4, or Roman numeral 4, he was pretty decent as well. But yeah, it could be true that ViperX was better. Who was the other name you gave?
Skeletor.
Skeletor, that's right. Yeah.
I 1v1 Skeletor a lot around this time. Like, I never saw him in team games, he just 1v1. Yeah, I mean, MP should win this game. I feel like it's hard to get out-stratted here, right? Which they've been happening to them almost every game, and their trade's better for BC, so.
Yeah, they definitely have the better trade here for sure, yeah.
Flag captured.
NP leaves a big puss at home, though.
Seems like BME's going deep into their roster right now, too. They got Shinco, Lars, and Cannibal.
Oh, yeah. Because they know they won already, so they're probably trying to get everybody more game time, yeah.
Gekko was like the player for MP in this match. Like, he played every game.
Yeah.
Everyone was rotating by him.
Yeah, you're right. And he did basically well. I mean, again, just that one mistake in the calm, but he did well otherwise, really well. Probably MVP for NP, honestly. Probably him or RedPhoenix, probably MVP. Did you see RedPhoenix make any blunders or mistakes?
I mean, not especially. He lost that drought early last game, but that was also the team's call, right?
Right. Yeah, they kind of
get on him.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. NP is gonna win this north. They're already starting to make some big plays here north.
Chohan's position is awful with his archers.
Yeah.
Got away with it. He almost got them all plus at the very start right there.
His archer line is a little too pumped up still too. But yeah, I mean, that makes sense. We didn't see, like, it's kind of weird how you see, as the years went on, the archer lines got progressively more and more spread out. You didn't really see them much more spread out at this point in time. Oh, BME's actually up in percent right now. It's wild. Yeah, they're kind
Not
of.
sure where that happened.
They're BME's like out BCing them all over the map right
Flag
now.
lost.
Wow. That Puskull didn't even get his shot off. Jesus.
Watch your fire.
I mean,
Flag captured.
he's using a lot of pus mid, but they're not really gonna follow up on it. They just like 3 pus to kill an archer.
Oh,
Ooh, big
missed
shot.
the block. Chohan is a big shot. Man, was that, who was that? Soulblighter, I think? He missed the block.
It's rough. He goes down to war.
Wow,
Chohan's
BME
gonna
still
have
cleans
faster
up in
game.
the last game. So final score is going to be like 5-1-1, is that right?
Pretty big stomp.
That is a very significant stomp, yeah. I don't think we've ever seen NP get stomped that badly.
Yeah, 0-3 was super close. I knew that was decided by like 2 points. 0-1, they won. Yeah, this is the first time they've ever got stopped in the finals.
Right here.
Cool, busted itself. It's weird. You think MP would have been motivated, right? Like they came off a loss the year before.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
And there's bad blood between these teams coming into it. So it's not like
They had the roster,
off
that's for damn
guard.
sure.
Flag contested. Flag lost.
Good luck.
Yeah, like it's very questionable to me that the one time we see them do badly, Rabican bounces in the middle of the match. Like, is that related? I don't know. It definitely raises questions in my eye though, because I see a lot of players get. Oh wow, Jushius throws the pus and it still gets blocked by the Warriors. I've seen a lot of players in that situation get demoralized and kind of just leave on those grounds, right? It's so easy to just say, just leave and just say, well, I don't care, I didn't care anyway. And I don't know.
Dang, this is a quick one. Holy crap.
It raises some questions about like strength of mindset when you're down, kind of thing, and how like easily you get demoralized. So.
Team eliminated.
Chohan had a big game, but yeah, as you mentioned earlier, like he kind of should have got punished for, and that was not uncommon for a couple of times in this match. Like you see him do some really aggressive and bold plays that we feel like he should have got punished for, but kind of got away with a little bit. But yeah, still a good game. I can see why. So I'm gonna ask you your thoughts on this as well. But after looking at this match, what I'm seeing from Chohan kind of follows what we kind of discovered about these types of players later in Myth, right? Like, if you're really dominant in 1v1, there almost seemed to be a bit of a negative correlation with good team play, because like I think some of those 1v1 skills, if they're not harnessed properly in the team environment, they can be counterproductive. And like, for example, if you're used to being able to bully your opponent because you're just always the best 1v1er, that's going to get you in trouble in the team environment. And I remember going through this learning experience myself around like the 07, 08 timeframe when I was on the Raziel teams, because by then I was the best player on those teams at that time and was being given very big unit sets. And I was, finally a prominent 1v1er. But in the higher level matches, what would end up happening is like, yeah, I could bully my way around the weaker teams and maybe in the earlier matches. But in the later matches, you inevitably just get 2v1 and 3v1 down because your aggression pushes into the whole other team and they're easily able to reinforce and coordinate. And so if you try to Rambo as this like best player in the game with the biggest force, you're still going to lose because of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, from this finals, he appeared very swingy. Very strong games or very, like, sloppy games. Like, yeah, it seems like a very high risk, high reward type player.
Very aggressive player, super aggressive. As I mentioned before, I mean, maybe the most aggressive player I've seen overall. And man, it's so odd to me to say that because, like, I consider myself an extremely aggressive player, but like looking at him, he's more aggressive than me, but like not in a good way. Like he's taking it too far. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's like making the game's gonna be decided by him one way or another.
Yeah, he's gonna make
no one else gets to play. Like,
he's gonna make the game about him one way or the other. That's right. Yeah, that's a funny way of putting it. Yeah, like I don't know. I am not a fan of what he did with the throwing. He was just way too aggressive. Did not see him set up any throw arty types of maneuvers. Yeah, was kind of Ramboing with the tro. You kind of saw that with the tro. Even on the first tro map, he kind of took that engagement kind of far ahead of his own solars and other arty and melee support. It was a pretty poorly decided engagement to take, and then he doesn't even open up his tro for to like take the fight, so the opponent's tro would at least be a target for his solars to be able to hit them in the side. He kind of just straightly kind of like blocks his own solars with his tro. It was like a really bad fight in like multiple different ways. And then again, the way his decision making, and this is where we always kind of analyze players in the team environment, because that's where the decision making really comes into play. And then you see that with like the keep game, where like that's actually the game where like I actually wanted to see where his aggression really would have paid off right there. And the aggressive move there actually would have been to just counter by killing their middle right away. But actually, he doesn't take that aggressive. He actually takes the reactionary defensive move of peeling off and shadowing their tro in his own backfield, right? So it's kind of interesting there. So
his strength actually in this match, from what I saw, was he was a good meleer on light maps.
Good mailer,
like
I agree with that.
Was.
Yeah. With tro, like I don't doubt he could be good with melee with tro, but he's getting into some other trouble, I guess, with his troing in that regard, that he wouldn't get into trouble as much with the other types of melee. So yeah, I agree. He was still good meleeer. I mean, phenomenal with the micro with those Huron healers on the column game. That was his best game by far. So.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Dwarf did stand out. Like, he was just super consistent every single game. I don't
Yeah.
think he had a bad game.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know. Loial always had big numbers. I'm not
Loial
really sure what he
surprised
did
me.
specifically, though.
Yeah, I didn't think Loial was like that 4-baller heavy hitter, but he had big units throughout the match, and he did good with them. So, yeah, he must have. Magne surprised me with his throwing. He did do good throwing, although we only got to see him throw, I think, the one game. NP just really Gekko, like we said before, Gekko was the only really standout player, maybe to some extent RedPhoenix as well. Okay. So, but otherwise, like, kind of underwhelming performance by NP. Even from some of their other big names. Yeah. I mean, there was one point in time, I don't know if you remember this, that we were like questioning, like, do you put BME in there amongst, the best teams of all time? Like, um, what's your answer to that? Yeah, I would say this was a very sloppy match, and I can totally see the difference between the early years again and the more recent ones that we were watching. Because like this is the first early year myth game that we've watched in a while, right? And like I can't you feel the difference? Like I can see it. I can totally see it. Yeah, this was very sloppy from both teams, and these names were big names that arguably went on to do bigger and better things in later years. At least play wise, like watching their play in films probably would be cleaner, but yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, kind of like so you saying that a specific example that I kind of reminds me of is like so one time Wings would run his Dwarf around a tree defending against melee when actually he would want to get away from the tree so he could actually hit the melee, right? Like he's giving the enemy melee an advantage by hugging the tree. And like it felt kind of like that with the care map with was it BME's archers, I think? We're trying to chase that dwarf around the tree. And I'm just like, what are you guys doing? Just go for the flag. It's CTF for God's sakes, right? So yeah, yeah, like I have no doubt that these players would have continued to evolve and still be in, if they were top players then, they could have remained top players now if they kept playing. But like you can tell it's early years myth. Like I can see it. It's very rough. The strategies, the trades, the plays, where they're picking fights, the calls, the shot calling, like that rush middle on Great Divide Tirri made, like that's wild. Yeah, so it's very rough myth, I would just say. I was You and I were both really excited to see this. I am slightly disappointed, to be honest. Like I was expecting more from this, especially like the map of Chohan. Like I wanted to see like the great Chohan like dominate, and you saw it one game at least on the Calm. Like that's like the Chohan that we all remember. That's like what we would expect. But man, Otherwise, really sloppy team play in general. Not just from Chohan, but just across the board. I think Gekko is the only player that when I watch his play from these early years, it's like Gekko feels like a player who's been consistent through time. Like he is playing like I don't when I look at Gekko in these old films, I don't think, "Oh, that's early years Gekko." Like no, Gekko's playing I feel pretty much the same way as he would play now. Like he's playing like pretty solid, I would say, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not even close. Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, you and I as captains can watch, like even if you take the BC skills and individual players out of it, just looking at the shot calling throughout the game, like everything is happening super slow compared to how it would happen these days. You know what I mean? There's no management of the game time like at all. I didn't see a single time that happened in this entire match. Nobody used the clock at all. There was not a single play I saw in the entire map where you could say, "Oh, they're managing the game clock." That never happened. They basically are just like just they're just kind of like blindly playing until until the time runs out, but like they're not thinking like, "Oh, I want the time to run out here, so let's actually just hold and let the time run out." That you never see that happen, and that's how I remember it too. That was not something that I remember thinking about in those early years either. Like that's not something I didn't learn until much later, right? So yeah, I mean, it goes back to what I was alluding to before, the real big difference between 1v1 players and team players. And it's just, they're so not the same thing. I mean, outside of myself, struggling to find somebody who was a top 1v1. Genghis, I guess Genghis. Well, we said Genghis is not the greatest at 1v1 though, too. Yeah, so I don't know. Kirk, yeah, yes, that's I think yes, Kirk. Kirk is a solid team player. I mean, people don't give him enough credit. He was smart, dude. Like I mean, we saw it. I don't know if you remember this, but when we did that episode with him, that one Tro map, it was like on winter with Tro units, and you see him like I was cracking up watching it because like you saw it was like Kirk facing off against Eastwind, but Kirk had no play to make because Eastwind had an arty piece and Kirk didn't have anything. But what Kirk could do is just tie up Eastwind to prevent him from reinforcing the middle, which is where the rest of our team was about to make a really big play. And Eastwind the play he should have made was probably to shift middle to reinforce that. But Kirk just ties him up and dances around him, doesn't take any damage. And it's just like shit like that is so fucking smart. And I love seeing that shit because it's like you're not like a one trick pony, right? You don't just do damage. You're not just like a BC powerhouse. So I'll smash whatever's in front of me. Like no, you're being very intentional about when you're aggressive. It's a controlled aggression, and you're not taking damage when you don't need to. Like that was I like seeing those types of plays. So like yeah, no, like Kirk was solid. Yeah, no, that's a great example. But yeah, Chohan, I have to, outside of seeing more film of him, which I hope to be able to see at some point later, maybe. But um, outside of seeing more film, I see him more as this 1v1 type of player. I know a lot of people have praised um, watching him in team games as well and dominating, and I don't doubt that that has happened, but you have to also understand that it happens in the context of what kinds of opponents you're playing against. And like I'm seeing a lot of plays that he makes that would be punished heavily against a modern team or modern players that he's just not getting punished against. And like that's why I say like I see so much crazy aggression in him that I think he's literally trained himself to be that aggressive because he's never really been punished for it, right? Now, even in this match, he did get punished for it, I would say, for the most part. I felt like he should have been punished more for it on that Tro map still. Like, NP should have won that game. That was a really bad Tro engagement that they took, and they should have been able to punish that more, but they weren't for whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, no, I still hold a lot of respect for Chohan. I know he really was like a champion mindset player. I seen him do some really ballsy things in 1v1s. Um, and he was still very dominant in 1v1. Can't ever take that away from him. But the team dynamic just changes everything. And really just was not seeing the same greatness that we all expected from him in the 1v1 context here in the team setting. The team setting to me is very different. Right. Yeah, and I mean, this is 2004. I really can't judge him too harshly because this was actually early, even for when he just first rose to prominence around this time frame, like maybe '03 at the earliest. You know what I mean? So, this is very early Chohan, even though he only played for a few more years, basically, maybe even 2 more years. Um, but this is still even early Chohan by the short time frame that he did play. So, or short time frame that he was on top. Um, yeah, I have no doubt like he could have become a more well-rounded player, but I'm not sure. I'd have to see his '06 film, like his like the latest films that he has. I'd have to watch in '06 maybe, see how. I'm sure he became more polished as a team player. I'm just not sure how much so. Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah. Out executed too. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then we talked about that. The execution too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We talked about that too with what Magni's comments talking about how Conan, aka Bullet Tooth Tony, and who was it that he said was stratting with them? Was it Cannibal Ox? I think he was talking about. I think so. I think he said it was. Oh, okay, maybe so. But in any case, he said that they were doing a lot of prep with the strategies and that they practiced as a team in advance. So that's actually very unique, I would say, because most teams, in fact, I thought I was one of the only ones who did this. Like, I didn't start capping until much later in 2011. And I did this with the Bulls for the first time only at the end of that tournament. I was not aware of any other teams that did this because NP famously did not prepare anything for strategies. They did not practice as a team or do anything like that, right? So already Conan is doing, I don't know why we say Conan because actually it wasn't his more common name, Bullet Tooth Tony. Yeah, that's what I knew him as it too. I guess because Magne called him Conan, but yeah, Bullet Tooth. Yeah, Bullet Tooth Tony. Yeah. Oh, Cannibal Ox is Nineball. Shit, I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, damn. Okay. So yeah. So they were doing some very early things as a team and as a captain that would have served them very well. I would say like that's best practice right there. Like I can say that confidently from my capping experience. So if they had continued to do that, now granted, they did have a few more years to keep doing that, and it didn't translate to wins for them. So there was obviously still some holes and weaknesses in the capping and strategy game there, which we did see some of. Like these trades are very early myth trades. Like they're not exactly what you would get in more modern myth, and also the execution and managing the game clock, not quite there yet, right? But yeah, if they had kept at it, I think that they could have kept evolving with the game. I do think so. Like putting in that kind of prep work, you can't help but improve and keep learning. So yeah, he definitely organized his team to give them an advantage in the execution against NP in this match for sure. That prep work paid off big time. So NC already no, because they're third place, but you can see that they're slowly climbing the ranks as the years went on. This is like early NC still, so they're not even like contenders yet, but they're third place just outside of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Magni's still got the TWD tag on there. I just noticed that in the films. Damn. I'm glad that somebody can still show that tag because that was the team I captained early on, and I wasn't sure anybody would even recognize that tag still, but. So second time, yeah. So NP kind of knew going into this match probably that they were in for a lot against BME here. It's not like they were caught by surprise because they lost pretty hard against them in the top bracket finals. That score, by the way, like 82-59 or whatever it was, like that makes it sound closer than it really was, to be honest. Like it's 5-1-1 in terms of wins and losses, and like it is it's almost as strong of a blowout as you could have in a finals. So yeah, like the score doesn't tell you any information about how close the fucking match was, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, I think we about covered it. Is there anything else to mention about this one? Yeah, I think we covered it pretty good. Would have loved to see play with and against these BME guys if they had kept playing. I think now with so few players, we take it for granted having other good players to play against, even if you don't like them. You know what I mean? Like, I would take a bunch of good players that I really disliked, just having them active, just so I had somebody to play against nowadays, right? Wow. Wow. Yeah, they really wanted to get everybody in there for whatever reason. I mean, I don't know. Maybe on some level they knew they were probably going to lose anyway. So in that sense, maybe they didn't care. So I don't know. It's just I've never seen Rabican leave in the middle of a finals match like that before, though. We've seen him play several other ones. I'm pretty sure. Even if he didn't captain them all, he still kept playing, right? Yeah, that's how it was back in those early years. Yeah. They still had a ton of teams too. But yeah, I mean, full props to this BME team. It's a great win. Uh, has a good place in myth history. Even if like watching the films, it's not the most impressive myth we've ever seen or anything like that. But for the time, it's not like any of us were playing any better at this time either. They were all better players than us at this time, right? Like just things have changed a lot since then. That's all. So. Yeah, no, definitely. There's definitely progress. I don't see the skill level like going backwards at least, right? As the years progress, there's a progression there. It's a slow progression, but there's a progression there for sure. For sure, it's better than 01. Yeah. Probably not that much better though. The the trades. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's really not. You think it was the? Did you think it was significantly better than 01? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit better. I don't think it was like a huge jump or anything. Like there was a bigger jump for sure in my mind between 2000 and 01. Like I was seeing some big jumps there. Um, I think the big jumps have like they kind of stopped after 01 probably. So, and BME celebrates their victory finally. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll leave it there. I think we covered it all. It was good. It was good myth to watch. That's the last early year myth I think that we're gonna watch. What's the next earliest year that we're gonna cover? Because we've covered most of them. Yeah, like 05 didn't. Did we even cover the first 2, 3 games of 05? Did we do that or no? Like, there's 2 games in 05, I think. So we can kind of like maybe mix that in with another year, maybe. I don't know. What do you think? The games they're not even worth covering. The games sort of sucked. Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, we can just talk about it right now, real quick. How about that? So just to hash out '05 real quick, because it sounds like they're not even really worth going over. There was 2 games played in '05. Actually, you can see them right here. You can see the films on my screen right now. There was 2 games played in '05. As you can see, kind of weak, very weak showings, kind of from both teams. It's like a 5v6. Yeah, 5v6, like not even 7v7, right? And like kind of long story short, TLDR of these 2 games was Roz kind of suicided for both of them for whatever that their team's name is. I don't remember, but for his team, the Hitlo Roz, yeah, the Hitlo Limp team. Interesting, Gekko's on that team instead of on the because it's T-Cox, not NP. Yeah, okay, yeah, Bia, okay. So Roz kind of suicides both games. He almost certainly was not sober. Just from what we know about Roz, like he was probably drunk and or high was probably the reason for that suiciding, and that probably is the real reason why that match did not get played. I mean, they just got down 2 games and just decided not to play it out because they knew they like why continue playing it when you're already down 2 games, right? So rather just have an undecided result than have a loss, right? That's kind of which is very unsportsmanlike. I will just say it's like very uncompetitive practice there, but I think that's really the final verdict of what's happened there in myth history. So. Yeah, and it's like crazy that here we are, like 2024, which makes it like 20, I don't know, 25, 26 years of Myth World Cup, and like that's still the only year. Like that, actually, 2019 almost happened like that too. Like 2019 was kind of close to having some, and it still kind of had some bullshit involved, but at least the games did get played and finished out, right? So yeah, 2005, the only year that was like played out like that. Um, mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Going through these years, I think we covered like there's no other early years, right? Like we just finished talking about '05, those 2 games. Nothing really else to say about that. '06 we did, '07 we did, '08, '09. Ooh, did we do 2010? Oh shit, we did do 2010. Okay. 2010, 2011, 2012 we did, 2013 we did, 2014 we did, 2015 we did. 2015, my worst fucking years, Captain. That was awful. 20, 2016 is the next one. Yes, 2016, that's right. I think we haven't done 2017 either. So 16, 17. Did we do 19? I think maybe I think we didn't do 19. We did 20. We didn't do 21, 22, or 23, I think. So, yeah, so 16 onward is yeah, kind of where we're at. We're kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty. Sounds like there's only like maybe 6 more or something like that. So, yes, there was a lot of drama that year. That's right. Yes, 2016. Okay, so yeah. So we'll end this episode on that note that we're gonna cover 2016 next, which is we're getting back to some very big high drama years of Myth. So that will be good to cover. And uh can we get a guest? Paris and or Adren? Yeah, Racking, yes. Yeah, let's try to get some of those guys. That'll be good. All right, cool. Yeah, let's leave it there. We'll set up something for next time on that episode. All right, thanks for everybody for listening. Peace out. Take care.